And then I know that Kaylee has spent time with the Admiral and she thought he was fantastic, but I mean, he's on a boat. So I don't know where he
That seems
docks
like a
or
hard
anything.
walk.
Yeah, I think he would be a little bit harder to pin down. So, Kaylee, if you run into her, she might be able to help you with the Admiral thing. But I mean,
I think we did already.
Yeah, well, if we run into her again.
yeah, I know, he's kind of up in that direction too. They're both kind of north of here. So I don't know, yeah.
Well, we'll see where we head.
All right. Well,
okay.
It has been an absolute pleasure meeting y'all. And
Hear you saying that.
well, it's been a little turbulent. I'm not gonna lie, but hopefully
you can keep the carpet scraps over here if you want. I mean, we don't have much use for it anymore.
And she kind of sits down and looks him over for a moment. And she actually picks up a corner and turns it over and kind of shows it up to you, Leo, and says, I mean, I don't know too much about this sort of thing, but there's like this metal piece here that, I don't know, it looks different or interesting.
Do I know what that is?
Roll an Arcana check.
I will assist.
I knew that was coming.
Okay.
Not bad.
So what she shows you is actually just kind of like a small metal sigil on the back that's got some runes on it. It's kind of beaten and battered at this point. It definitely has taken some wear and tear from the onslaught that you guys gave the rug. But what it appears to be is the proper runes for an animate object scroll. And you get the impression that by placing this on this object, that is actually what was able to animate this piece.
Do I know if it's like spent, or is there something we can do something with?
I think it would take a little bit longer of a rest to really look it over and see if it's a good enough quality to work with. But it doesn't. It's not broken. It looks like it has potential.
Let's take it with us, guys.
I'm gonna take out my crumbling drow dagger from my pocket and cut it apart. And
throw the whole rug in the portable hole.
We're not gonna put it in the portable hole. We have a bag of holding.
You realize the bag of holdings opening is only so big.
It's like 2 feet by 4 feet or something. We can fit a little carpet in there.
All right.
You realize a portable hole is 10 feet deep, and you have to climb into it to get anything out of it.
Yeah, it's a rug. How often are we going to get to it?
Davies volunteers us there.
Okay.
So metal sigil for animate object, you said?
Yes, metal sigil for animated object. And, it's not very big. It's, frankly, it could, fit in your pocket. So,
I forced it down Davies' bag of holding.
That's not where I thought that was going.
Carpet attacks and portable holes. This is getting a little spicy.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I appreciate the offer with the rug, but I think we'll probably be traveling light from here. At least after the wild hunt shows up and see what they have to say, So, but like I said, I'll make sure to put in a good word for them, tell them how helpful the academy was during their stay. And maybe, the word of diplomacy will pass on,
Are you heading to the Autumn Court, or are you heading to your home?
I don't know yet. It'll probably depend upon what they say. If they think this is a more widespread issue, then we will probably head towards the Autumn Court, honestly, because I'm not much of a fighter. I don't know what we would do if we ran into one of those creatures. But yeah, we'll probably
Yes, you just take off the other way there.
That would probably be the best bet. But I imagine that if we do end up making that journey, we'll probably try to, gather up some other people and kind of move in numbers. That tends to be a little safer. So, but I won't know until we hear from the wild hunt.
If we head that way, we might see you there then.
Yeah, yeah, perhaps, hopefully our paths cross again once we're back in safety's arms, because y'all seem to be a little too adventurous for my taste, but
not by choice.
Well, I don't know. You need to speak for yourself.
Yeah, I like to travel.
Well,
I like to travel. I don't like being jumped by any things from the abyss every twist and turn we take here.
Well, granted.
Well, I mean, no.
Maybe stop
obvi-
mentioning to everyone how we always run into demons when they're really concerned about
Well, we are.
All the cool kids
Well,
are doing it.
For what
I don't
it's
know,
worth,
something's weird down here.
we already knew that by this point. So, but like I said, your bad luck is your own. You've done us a service, so I will make sure to put in a good word for you. So,
Thank
Sounds
you.
Nothing more we can ask for.
It was very
All right.
nice meeting you.
it was nice meeting you too. And if our paths do cross, or if there's anything I can do for y'all just let me know.
If I set up a nail
So-
business here, I'll be sure to look you up.
I'll look forward to it. So with that, you guys head off.
Okay. Do we need to do any kind of checking to see if there's a path or?
She showed us how to get there by following some leaves or something.
And I pointed it out to you
Yeah.
Yeah.
specifically so you'd know.
Do
So
we need to go put an ice bag on CAG or anything?
Okay. I want to. Does somebody want to help me start checking for those leaves?
That would be a perception check.
sure.
What are we looking for?
So the way to the autumn court is to follow the brightest leaves,
I have +4 to my perception.
as you do.
Directions suck in this place.
Everything sucks in this place.
Okay, so if she's helping me, I get to roll with advantage. Is that
They don't
right?
even know what a
Yes,
trading
that's right.
post is.
I mean, they would let you trade.
Guys, don't trust me as a guide.
We didn't.
Okay. So
Rolling with advantage has been very friendly to us today.
a good thing.
before, Eurolith, you tried to kind of see it and you couldn't, but now that Davi pointed that first one out to you, it strikes you straight away. You're able to really look at them and you find yourself looking less with like the discerning investigative eye that you use when you're tracking and more with just kind of, an artistic eye for the most beautiful leaf. And from there, you really are able to kind of clearly follow and see through the depth of the woods and where things are continuing to get brighter and kind of move in that direction.
All right, I think
Um,
we should go this way, and start heading out.
Okay. As you guys begin to head out, does anybody need anything else?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, not from there.
Full suit of armor, but
God.
Yeah,
Kai,
I
were you going to say
mean,
something?
No, I'm good.
Okay. As you guys begin to begin your march, Davi, your eyes are actually kind of instinctively drawn to where the raccoon family was buried yesterday, who obviously you've spent a lot of time of meditative prayer on them. And there you see the very tiny mounds, but each of them are now encircled with this splay of snowdrop flowers. And the sight immediately strikes you as familiar because it's reminiscent of the way that you often saw Goric Brick Forge surround the graves of the warriors and travelers that you guys served throughout your ventures together. So you're immediately able to connect these two images and just see the similarities between the burial that has kind of sprung up in your presence here and what you experienced in your time with him.
Cool.
So,
That's probably
Okay.
not important.
but you guys head off into the Feywild Forest, trailing.
Can I pause just real quick?
Sure.
Before we go, I'll nudge Earlith and I'll say, "See that? That was me. That was me."
Okay.
And we'll keep going.
I'm
I
going
want to roll a
to.
perception check to hear the crazy person.
I'm gonna look over and I'm gonna nod sort of what is it, indulgently, like like
That was Martha Moore doing.
Okay.
I have no idea what to roll against for that. But because Cog was trying to see if he heard Davi.
She
That would
wasn't
be perception, wouldn't
trying
it?
hard to hide it, but she wasn't. She was just whispering it to Earlith. So
Okay, so if nothing else, you can catch a little bit of the idea, Cog, and you see your list kind of smile of like, yeah, there's something, Okay, So you guys head off into the Feywild Forest, trailing from one bright leaf to the next in pursuit of some like vague destination. Well, first off, are you guys stealthing? Are you walking? What's your
Oh. Well, I mean, is there really any need to stealth at the moment?
We're just walking normally, I assume.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, let's not try to like.
I'm
You
not
wanna
gonna
get
go
wild
jogging.
hunted? Because that's how you get wild hunted.
I feel like that's definitely how you get wild hunted.
What?
Yeah.
Just walking normally?
We're not gonna go jogging
How
down
about
the
we
forest.
run,
because-
guys?
Do we need to run? I mean, do you feel like we need to run, Rafferty?
Leo doesn't run. It's against his principles.
Yeah, no, I think we should take our. I mean, I don't think we should necessarily go real slow, but I think
mean,
we should take a
I
normal
think-
pace.
I think we should take a good traveling pace, and I mean, well, I'm sure we don't want to draw a huge amount of attention to ourselves. I mean, let's try to be circumspect. But I mean, I don't see any point in us.
Or
trying
you're
to
just gonna
stealth.
walk.
Yeah,
Walk.
stealth at the
Fuck
moment.
everything else.
Normal.
Okay.
A Stick's gonna use his doing his usual helicopter pattern.
I mean, if we get to a
We're
place
going to be
that looks
casual.
sketchy, yeah, if we get to a place that looks
Just
sketchy, then we'll
act like we belong.
Okay. So you guys start walking. And just given the hesitation, you're a little careful at first and alert. Understandably, a little more on edge with everything you've encountered. But after a few hours, there's no sporadic assault from plant or beast. It's just a walk through the woods, and a particularly beautiful patch of woods at that. And you find yourselves strangely at peace and almost bored, especially in comparison to just kind of the hectic adrenaline rush train that you've been running on for so long. You begin to busy your minds by kind of really observing and absorbing the fantastic nature of the Feywild. You note all the woodland creatures that are covered in pebbles and bark that seem to be birthed from the forest itself as they scurry across the floor and leap from branch to branch. And the air seems to be that kind of perfect non-temperature where the twilight sun is just enough to warm your face and the dappled shade provides relief without really causing chill. You've got the nice crunch beneath your feet of the leaves and the briars, and the breeze just kind of carries that familiar earthy scent of wood and harvest that, you're accustomed to at home in fall. And for the first few hours, it's just a really peaceful walk if you guys have anything to tend amongst yourselves or talk about. Or you
This
can
is a
walk in
lot like
silence.
home.
Are you
This is
hinting?
lovely.
I mean, do you
So
feel
much
like
I'm
fun.
just
New
giving the
character
opportunity.
development, you.
We
I'm
would be.
just giving the
This is
opportunity.
about when we would be picking the hops, and I miss it.
I feel like.
so?
Does anyone
mean-
else think Davi may have a problem?
I mean,
It's a next level alcoholism to be dreaming
Are
about
you saying
making
this
the
in
beer.
front of me?
I'm just kind
I'm
of
just-
musing it to the woods, kind of like Davi was musing it. to
Look,
the
man.
woods.
Look, man. It's clear that drinking is some type of religious experience for her. Her spiritual weapon is a mug of ale. Leave it.
Thank you. He gets me.
Oh Lord,
No.
I feel that I feel like that it's an important part of her life, and I don't know very much about dwarves, but perhaps that's the thing.
I mean, I guess. Sure.
I mean, we don't run around questioning why you feel the need to unclothe yourself at every
Hey,
Don't-
for
don't we?
men.
I question it pretty regularly.
I don't understand why you're confused. It's very natural, and you should try it sometime.
Does it impair my ability to heal you? Has it ever impaired my ability to heal
No,
you?
Well,
my nudity
of
has
course
never
we-
impaired your ability to heal.
No, I mean my drinking.
You
Why
haven't
do you
drunk
keep
much.
bringing up your drinking?
That's exactly. I can't drink much.
Because there is no ale. She just
Right.
is something.
We're gonna revisit that question a little later, I think.
We'll let Davi
Get you
stumble into a
drunk just for the
Fey
hell
AA.
of it.
Tommy someone to Faye. Lord have mercy.
So as you guys kind of walk along, at one point you hear some rustling Some bushes off to your left, and this brief moment of alert, but a quick glance reveals just, a family of moss-covered rabbits diving into their warren. Later you pass a brook where there are 3 frogs sitting, kind of croaking in this baritone harmony that's surreally symphonic.
They go, bud.
And, over the 4 or so hours of your surprisingly quiet journey, the landscape changes, but it's so gradual that you don't notice it for a while. First, the rush of the Severance River kind of diminishes off in the distance into a rumble, and then it fades entirely. You find yourselves moving away from the sun, kind of towards the moon on the horizon, and kind of this, we'll call it if you were using material plane geography, it'd be kind of like in a northwestern direction. Just, following the leaves as Davi and Eurolith perceive them. The landscape, as you go, also seems to flatten. You still have to navigate around like large roots and, hedges, but the hills and ledges that you had been encountering previously have smoothed out a lot. And it's almost as though the further you get from the Severance, the more consistent the forest seems to become. And just as you're kind of acknowledging these changes, you notice a more sudden shift. The perpetual twilight that you've kind of become accustomed to suddenly fades into shadows over the course of a minute. And looking back, you see a muddled mass of storm clouds that's just blotting out the horizon, rolling towards you like this ominous typhoon. A streak of light lashes down, and within seconds you hear the sharp crack of lightning striking wood behind you. A resounding boom follows that quakes the ground beneath your feet, and unleashing this instant downpour. Sheets of rain blur your vision, deafen the forest, and soak you to the bone in seconds. There's another crash. This one is closer, louder. The storm is moving in your direction, and fast.
Oh boy.
So, Rafferty, does these things happen often here?
I don't know. DM, who is my very good friend, do that.
You can roll an Arcana check.
Okay, guys, this is an important roll.
Actually, roll an Arcana check and a Perception check.
Oh God. Okay.
Can
Double fail.
I mean, can I do some? Can I
Have
check
you
it out?
have you lived in the Feywild?
I haven't lived in the Feywild, but I mean, it is at least a storm, and
Okay.
But I mean, you
I
can't
don't know
tell
what
if
it
it's
is, but I can
normal.
clearly see it.
Through just the thundering downpour, Rafferty, you're barely able to make out Leo calling over to you. Does this happen often? But you have no idea.
I kind of shrug and go, meh.
I hate this
Seems
place.
legit.
God, I
Once
hate this
again,
place.
I'm
Moving
gonna-
closer, you hear a
I'm gonna
crack
wander
as
through this
another flash of lightning strikes one of the nearby trees, and you see sparks shoot from it.
this just doesn't look good.
The storm is just about over you guys now. What
So
are you
did we
doing?
get a description of the wild hunt at all before we left?
Guys, cover.
Yeah. Can I look around for some cover from this storm?
Roll a perception check.
Okay. Does anybody want to help me?
Yeah, I'll help you.
All right,
Okay.
DM. I have a spell
Yes.
called Call Lightning.
Okay.
sounds
well,
Okay, link it.
You're gonna make it even worse. Perfect.
You gotta
Okay.
make it lightning.
Oh man, hold on.
No.
It didn't link the thing.
Looking around, Gerlith, you don't see anything immediately around you. There's just trees, nothing that it really looks like you could get covered under.
Well,
Okay.
So the
well, we really shouldn't.
sorry. Go on.
Go ahead.
So with Call Lightning, if there is a storm currently going on, I can take control of the storm.
Okay. Let me see.
Oh, he's gonna fuck this up.
Let me double check. I'm going to read it real quick.
I can copy paste it in the chat.
No, it's okay. I already looked it up. Sorry. Stormy conditions. When you cast this spell, the spell gives you control over the existing storm and stop creating a new one. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Go for it.
So theoretically, I could I could just take control of it and not cast any lightning bolts for 10 minutes, right?
Guys, Cag, do you want to waste a spell slot?
Yes.
I mean, I don't yet, but I just want to make sure that I can do it if I need to.
Yes, you could do that.
Okay. All right, cool. We'll carry on.
Okay.
Would it still be raining?
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Currently?
I think I
Oh,
can
the
only
rain,
control
yeah.
the lightning strikes.
Well, it says, gives you control over the existing storm instead of creating a new one.
Well,
So,
the spell is called lightning, so
yes, but I guess I'm saying that if you could control where the clouds would be and the lightning strikes would come, I would argue that you could also control where the clouds are not, if that makes sense.
does that make a little sunny spot for all of this?
It's got a 60-foot radius. I think that you could create a 60-foot radius hole, if that makes sense.
We're hiking here. We got a ways to go.
Yeah, I don't.
I
wanna
cast
burn a
minor
third level
illusion of an
spell.
umbrella in my hand.
Okay.
This is a solution. Does it really do anything?
Shut up, it helps me.
Makes
Okay.
me feel better.
So the storm is coming up quickly, and the lightning is coming frequently, far more frequently than you're accustomed to in the material plane. What are you guys doing?
Well, since I can't seem to locate any cover, I think that we should continue moving away from the storm as quickly as our little feet will carry us.
Okay.
Ag, it might be time for you to waste a spell slot.
What's the duration on it?
10 minutes.
That's okay. Not the worst.
But it's a third level spell. We're burning it at the beginning of the
we
day.
can't waste it. Yeah, we can't waste that, guys.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Let's just try to move away from it as fast as possible.
Is it coming? Is the storm coming towards us, or
It is, and it's gaining. It's moving fast.
How broad is the storm on the horizon? Like, is this the...
Can we sidestep it?
You can't tell where it ends. You could run sideways, rip current style, but
Are
you're
we talking Midwest hailstorm?
Ooh, I've only briefly been in the Midwest, so maybe.
It kind of comes over and dumps on you, then it's gone 20 minutes later.
Yes, exactly. So yeah,
Except
like
for
Florida
baseball
summer rain.
size, you know.
All right, well, let's keep moving and see if you find any cover or anything, or some nice tree to hide under. I don't know. I hate this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it myself.
I want to go back home and find a tavern. Can we
Okay.
do that?
You guys start moving forward. You definitely every lightning strike, you can hear it getting louder and louder. Are you walking? Are you running? What's your plan?
I'm running. Okay, sorry.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a cue from Rafferty. Not that
Are
and I'm
Okay.
we sure?
gonna keep up a good trot.
So Rafferty and
Let's not
Yola's
lose
take off.
track of each other here.
Yeah, this is the violating the
Let's
don't split
huddle
your party
together.
rule.
Well, wait, am I rolling? Because apparently I'm about to fall on my face.
Okay. No, so you guys are moving. You do find that the leaves underneath you are a little bit quicker. The sheets of rain are definitely obscuring your vision. I actually need everybody to roll an athletics check for me.
Oh, perfect.
Well, this is shit.
This is called custom made to screw over this party.
Yeah.
All of the things we deal with are custom made to screw us.
Okay, hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Ag, you've
So-
been a lift, bro. -1 strength modifier.
What?
Okay. So, I'm so sorry. Hold on one second. I got confused. Okay. Okay. So, everyone except, Cog and Jacobus, as you guys find yourself running forward, you actually end up running into this fallen tree, and you attempt to kind of step up and leap over it, but your boot slips on the wet bark, causing you to tumble.
We bring Leah with us. It's fine.
Leah fails because she is trying to move so fast that she just can't quite find the traction, as she and Rafferty are coming up ahead, Cog and Jacobus, you managed to see everybody that kind of tumbles just in time, and you were able to kind of, put your hands over and swing your legs over instead, clearing the log.
And Dobby's short.
Well, I guess maybe you should have listened to some more running, huh?
I'm really
I hate this
annoyed
place.
because I rolled the same as Jake.
Guys, what you have to understand is in the Feywild, things work a little different. So everyone listen to this video I'm posting. This is the sound Eurolith just made.
I. Kiss my ass.
Well, you did us all a favor and put it facing up for us, so it's
You're welcome.
Kag and Jacobus, you managed to clear the log. What are you guys doing? Continuing forward?
Is he close enough for me to give him a high five?
maybe help us up, bro.
Okay.
I mean, there's a big log.
Leo
I'm
just
gonna
crawls
cross
dejectedly
it.
through the mud.
Okay. Okay. You guys managed to get to your feet.
Leo is so not cut out for this.
Stumbling forward, the sheets of rain continuing to come down, blurring your vision. I need everybody to roll an acrobatics check.
Jesus.
Okay, I should do better at that.
We should have wasted the spell slot, guys.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it. Leah learned her lesson.
Glad
Strangely-
Cornelius.
Strangely, Leo has had plenty of tumbling lessons in his
Yeah.
merchant training.
Oh.
Well,
Oh.
you and me.
Oh wait,
Rafferty.
I rolled the wrong one. I rolled athletics. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Saving grace. I'm better
Dobby
at
didn't. Obvious.
Yeah, see I'm better at acrobatics.
Okay. So,
Better.
you guys, with Jacobus in the lead, continue barreling through. Jacobus, this is just second nature to you. As you come up, you notice this low-lying branch, and you just duck under it and continue forward. Eurolith and Leo, you see him, and you do the same, moving on. Unfortunately, Dobby, you don't quite see in time. You think you can clear it, but you end up just like skimming the top of your head, and it kind of sends you stumbling back a little bit before you push forward. Cog, looking back to see if the storm's coming, debating once again if you should use this spell. You miss it completely and just slam straight into your chest and have to kind of like work your way under. Rafferty being right on his tail, you do the same thing, crashing into it before you manage to kind of work your way under and keep going. I need everyone to roll a perception check.
I'm noticing a trend here, folks.
She knows where we are bad at things. Hey.
Ooh, shit, my passive perception is better than that.
I sense that I'm not good at this.
We spot we
Okay.
probably shouldn't be here.
So the question is, who has failed every time?
All right. So, well, actually, nobody yet, Okay.
No.
So, Rafferty, Leo, and Davi, as you guys continue to run on through, you do notice that the elevation of the ground seems to change quite suddenly, and you catch yourself just before you kind of tumble off into this, maybe about 2 foot deep ravine, and you manage to hop on down. Unfortunately, Eurolith and Kagnos, you guys don't manage to see it in time, tumbling forward, and Jacobus, you attempt to go and leap, but your footing just slips a little bit, and you stumble as the others begin to gain a little bit of distance ahead of you. Next, I need everyone to roll an acrobatics check.
Oh god.
Another
So
one? Okay.
who's-
Another one.
Who's in the rear of the party right now?
I'm really bad at this, guys.
Currently in the rear, Eurolith, Rafferty. Okay, so in the front, very clearly, is Jacobus and Leo. They're kind of leading. Dobby, Cog, Eurolith, and Rafferty, you guys are all kind of lagging behind a little bit.
Is there a prize if you finish first?
You don't die.
Your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glad I'm not wasting spell slots.
Okay. Everyone, as you guys leap down, you manage to do okay and catch your footing. Everybody except for Rafferty and Leo, unfortunately, who just can't quite get their feet to stick on the mud, and they slip, having to, drag themselves back up to their feet for a moment.
I hate this place.
I can just imagine Leo is really friggin' dirty after he spent all that time cleaning himself off.
Yeah.
Jacobus has, kind of made a clear lead at this point. I need you guys to roll a Constitution check.
You guys as in
Check or save.
Jacobus or everybody?
You guys, as in everyone, a Constitution check.
How's an 11 treating me?
Not
Yes.
save?
Not save.
Oh,
Check.
sorry.
We're gonna be tired from all the exertion, guys.
Where do I find?
You just click on the word Constitution.
It's
Go
above
back to
the
my save.
number there.
They were the same.
No, see, that's a save. Where's the other word?
It's
The
it's
other
the same one.
Constitution.
There isn't
It'll be-
another one.
Yeah, over on the left where you have the little boxes.
You don't have proficient in Constitution. It will be the same anyways. You don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh, so I just click on the Constitution in the little box all the way to the left?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently. Are we gonna just leave my roll the way it is?
Hey!
Okay.
If you are, leave mine.
So, as you guys, continue pushing forward, you feel your muscles begin to burn from the rush. But let's see. The Rafferty, Leo, and Cog manages to kind of push through. You take a few deep breaths and you manage to keep going forward, keeping a steady pace. Unfortunately, Davi and Urlith, I believe, is that, and Jacobus, you guys feel yourself, falling behind a little bit, just trying to, really summon the strength to keep going during this.
Running
in the
is
end,
not my forte.
in the end, Jacobus, Cog, and Leo, you guys, managed to just through your dexterity and pushing out through, you managed to get a little bit of the lead on everybody else. The storm coming up quickly behind you. Davi, Urlith, and Rafferty, you guys fall just a little bit too behind, and one of the nearby trees ends up getting struck with lightning, and you watch this shower of sparks. You each take 2 points of lightning damage.
I have
who's
lightning
you each?
resistance.
2 points each.
Hey,
Yes.
I have
Yes.
You take half that.
so I take half that
Yes.
because I
You
have
take 1 point.
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Wait, so when you say you each, is that everybody?
Davi,
or everyone in the
Urlith,
back?
and Rafferty.
Okay.
Davi, yeah, just the people in the back.
The slow
So
people.
are there like any caves or anything we could take shelter in?
Roll
we
a
are-
perception check.
We're just in a forest.
Yeah, I would like to look as well. I mean,
Okay.
would that be? That would be perception. It wouldn't be like survival.
That would be perception this
Yeah.
time, yeah, because you're just kind of
Just
looking
looking
around to
around.
see if you can spot
All right.
something.
Well, I'll check as well,
Okay.
just in case I can a better read on the area. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that I do.
She
So
finds she finds a mansion.
You're- just as this, you can kind of feel, some of the sparks fly off and hit you. You look over and you see this kind of like large structure of boulders over to the side. You kind of like wave at your friends and you guys end up all running over that way. And what you find is it appears to be actually kind of like, it appears to have been constructed at some point rather than like a natural appearing cave. You've got a series of large rocks that have kind of all been put together, but you are able to kind of duck inside and you find this area to be about 6 feet high and it's about 6 foot by 10 foot. So it's pretty cramped. You all have to kind of, sit almost shoulder to shoulder as you all kind of manage to get inside, but you all can, it is dry underneath, and you are all able to kind of sit, with your knees curled up a little bit. So you manage to clamber into the cave, and the storm continues to pass over you.
Leo's just sitting quiet in the corner, casting prestidigitation on himself to clean up clothes.
The water flicks off onto Cog, who is next to you.
Very dejectedly.
I am completely unbothered by the weather. In fact, I look quite happy.
I mean, I'm not overly fussed, except
I
that it
hate this
makes
place.
the terrain harder to deal with.
Davi. Actually, Davi and Cog, as you guys, well, let me double check everybody's. Since you guys leveled, let me see what your passive perceptions are.
Mine's
Mine
9.
is 12. I feel like mine should be better as a ranger. I'm really kind of disturbed.
It's based on your wisdom.
Okay, so Davi and Cog and Leo and Rafferty. I think everybody but Jacobus.
Everybody but
Who's
Jacobus.
surprised here?
He wasted all his
Everybody
good
but Jacob.
rolls.
As you guys, kind of climb into this cave, you do notice that up above, kind of on the ceiling of the rock, which is 6 foot up, you notice what looks like these kind of like precious little stones. They're pretty small, about a gold coin piece size. Just a couple of them just spotted around up there that while you sit and wait for the rain to pass. And
Is there
look
anything
around.
weird about these stones?
Make an investigation check.
Oh, I
do that
will.
too? Can I do that too?
Holy crap, guys.
It's a
I'm
rock.
pretty good at investigation.
Okay.
I guess I will investigate since I have the scrying stone
Okay.
or whatever.
So Davi, you look up and you can't quite reach one, but you kind of extend an arm to try to, kind of reach up and poke at it. And as you do, Cog, kind of reaches up with you, and you guys manage to tap one, and you actually notice that it kind of skitters across the top of the
Okay,
stone.
these are dangerous beetles, guys.
They do indeed appear to be bugs. It doesn't come at you or anything. It just kind of moves over and then stops again. It doesn't look like it wants to be touched, but it does appear that they have like, tiny crystals in their shell. From the distance, they're almost imperceptibly different from, just like rubies and normal precious stones.
Did Leo
that
see
you would
this?
find. Yes.
He firebolts one.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, no,
Leave the
Leo.
dang bugs alone.
no,
Roll for attack.
no.
Oh, good lord.
I mean, guys, I was gonna mage hand one, so
That hits. It's a bug. It completely. You obliterate the body of this tiny little bug, and everything around it just like scatters to the side. You got a nice little charred spot left on the ceiling.
Did you destroy the gems?
The gems are nowhere to be found.
Very handy there, Slick.
Good lord.
So can I now turn into
I just wanna
beetles
get out of
and
here.
gems?
Sure, you sure can.
Oh my lord, why? Why?
guys, we found a bug that's not interested in murdering us.
I mean, that is a
So we
first.
murdered it.
Yeah,
Who's the bad
After-
guys here?
it's a bug.
After about an hour or so, the rain does finally, kind of start to dissipate and taper off.
So this constitutes a short rest.
Yes, it does.
Heyo,
So-
can we get any HP back on a short rest? Anyone have a spell for that?
You can use hit dice. You can use hit dice on short rest. Well, you just have long rests.
It's not worth
You
it.
should have full hit
Using
points.
Hit dice on
I
two
mean,
hit
I'm
points.
I'm at 24 out of 34, so I mean, I'm okay for a minute.
You can roll hit dice on short rests if you want to do
So
that.
how does that work?
You see where your hit points are? Underneath there it says hit dice. You click on the
I
word
do.
hit dice,
Yes.
and then it rolls hit dice, and you get that amount of hit points back.
Okay.
And you get half of those back on a long rest.
So what do you click?
Okay. So if
The
I
word hit
have
dice?
5, if I have
Okay,
5 and I use 2 hit dice to recover some points, let's say, then I only get 1 back after a long rest?
No, you get half of your total back. So you get, I don't know if you get 2 or 3 back, but 2 or 3
Oh,
back.
okay. Okay.
I just want to see
Alright.
how many times we would say hit dice.
Hit dice.
Hit dice.
Okay, well, if we're
Dice
doing
hit.
short rest, I'm going to do a couple hit dice then.
Ah.
Mm.
Well, I'm going to do 1
Nice.
hit dice.
Don't tempt fate. Just go with that one.
Well, no, that puts me to max. So.
Oh.
So yeah, after about an hour or so, the lightning seems to, head off, and slowly but surely that the kind of shower sprinkles out, and it, the ground's pretty soggy, but the storm appears to have passed.
I'm gonna hope that was a really rare occasion, guys.
That is
I
pretty bizarre.
If anyone else wants to roll an Arcana check in relation to the storm, you can.
Or
I think she's dropping us a hint.
Just trying to help.
as well as we roll.
Cag coming through.
Not
So, Cog, you are actually aware of the fact, just from your druidic studies. Like we said, the ability to transform was passed down from the Eladrin to the elves. And you are aware that they say that, before, and obviously now, the druids harnessing this power are still able to, the power of Coralon, are still able to transform into these animal forms. But you know that Eladrin and Celadrin from past were able to transform also into, things of the environment, rocks and trees and this, that, and the others. But you also know that the particularly powerful Celadrin and Archfey, it's said, are able to transform the environment to match them instead of the other way around. To your understanding, this is where the nature of the winter, autumn, spring, and summer courts comes from. They are reflections of the individuals that rule them. And so while you can't be positive, one might discern that such a sudden change in environment and weather could be tied to one of the ruling archfey in some way.
Somebody's pissed. All right.
Well, I mean, demon incursion, guys.
Yeah. So I'm going to convey that to the rest of the party.
All right, so what are you conveying to us exactly?
Oh, jeez.
Everything that Casta just said.
I know.
He wants me to remember those things.
Can I just go, somebody's pissed?
Who's pissed?
I don't know. Somebody with enough power to cause a storm like that.
Would that be the one at the head of the actual area we're in, since we're in the autumn
Yes.
place, I assume?
You wouldn't want to anger anyone in this realm powerful enough to do that.
Look, Kaga, I said I was sorry for beating you when you were in the rug, okay? You didn't have to go do this.
Oh, don't worry, he's
wish I
not
had
powerful
that
enough to do
kind
that.
That kind of effect from being grumpy.
If he was that useful grumpy, I'd piss him off more often.
I wouldn't even blame you. All right. So has the storm passed, or
The storm has passed.
Is there anything else in this little cave, or is it just us and little gem bugs?
Roll a perception check.
Guys, she found out our one weakness: rolling dice.
Yeah.
You look around. You do notice that Oh, Rafferty. Rafferty looks around, and as you you notice a little bit coming up, but you're able to really see now that this does appear to be a structure that was, created of some sort. It's not a naturally occurring kind of thing. It looks more like kind of boulders leaned together to be kind of not Stonehenge, but the same kind of propping up. The ground underneath is definitely kind of smooth. It appears that at some point it acted as some sort of shelter, perhaps a reoccurring shelter for somebody. There aren't any, traces of who that might have been or anything that they left behind. But it appears for the most part to have just been a, conveniently crit roll timed place for you guys to, duck out of the storm. So
My crit allowed me to perceive that we found this because Jacob is crit.
it's a meta crit.
Almost like it wasn't there before Leroy.
So
Well, this
Yeah,
was a
but-
useful place, guys.
otherwise the storm has passed.
Well,
I guess we're walking again. That's the
I mean-
general plan.
yeah, I think that's probably the best. That we should move on to some kind of something that
We all agree that we're gonna get a wagon or something for answer guess, right?
Wait. We should have tried to see if we could have gotten something to pull that wagon for us.
It was way too small. It was like 6 feet by 2 feet or something.
I mean,
Could've fit
I'd
like-
fit in it.
Let's see.
You would have been pulling it.
Yeah, you would have been pulling it, and then you would have failed those rolls harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Can you imagine trying to get the damn wagon over the fallen tree?
No, I'd just be dead. All right, actually, you're right.
Okay.
So,
So
does the ground look walkable, or is it just a big mud puddle outside?
it's wet. It's slippery. There's just lots of fallen leaves that are just, soaked. But it's not particularly muddy. Despite the amount of water that came down, it doesn't appear to have created like a mud puddle or anything. The nature of the Feywild seems to have absorbed it pretty well. It just looks like a forest after it rained. So
At least it's good for something.
as you guys crawl out of your little hidey hole, I need presumably Eurolith again to roll another perception check to pick up the trail.
Okay.
Can I assist her?
Sure.
I'm just going to assume that Davi is going to frickety frackin'.
Okay.
Fuck.
So Eurolith, you take a moment and you
And
kind of
we're
look
lost.
around. and it's hard for you to discern. And then you kind of see one over there, and you're like, yeah, I think that's the brightest one. And you start veering off in kind of a slightly more western direction than previously.
Okay.
So,
All right. Let's head on.
you guys continue on your way. It's been about 5 hours or so now since you took out. You come across after a little bit of time, you come across a series of 3 trees. They're very tall. They're actually ripe and just kind of laden with these large fruits that look like white apples. Most of the branches are pretty high, but on one of them there's a low hanging branch that's, probably about 7 feet up that has about 4 of these fruit kind of hanging low enough that you might feasibly be able to get them.
How about we don't eat this random fruit in the middle of the creepy forest that wants to kill us, guys?
Well, hold on. Let's. Do we know anything about this fruit?
We will
I know
study
we
it.
won't eat it.
Arcana check.
Roll a what type of check?
An Arcana
Arcana.
check.
All right, this may be magic fruit, guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Okay. So Rafferty, roll with advantage.
Okay, I'll just roll a second time then.
Okay. You have encountered this before in your readings. To your understanding, they do have beneficial properties. And a lot of the stories that you have read about people traveling to the Feywild and stuff, they are often carried as a provision. None of them have noted the exact nature of what they do, but they are seen as an asset.
It's a very big good berry.
I cast my cantrip Mage Hand, and
Okay.
I'm going to grab a couple of these to put in my pack.
Okay. You're able, there are a good number of them. So how many do you want to get?
How many of us are there?
6? Yeah. 6? No, 5?
6 fruits. Yep. I'll keep 2.
I
Yeah,
think
you,
they're
you,
fine.
you can have mine.
Okay. So you get a few, toss some into your backpack. Nothing happens when you do. They look a lot like apples and extremely similar, in fact. So you guys carry on from there. And the journey, despite the brief onslaught of storm, is once again peaceful. You come up on another bush that looks like it's covered in like these beautiful orange flowers. But as you get closer, you watch as just like dozens of butterflies suddenly take flight in unison. They shift a few yards away from the party nervously and land on another bush, looking like flowers once more. A while later, up on a high branch over, you see a pair of squirrels that are just kind of chittering madly at each other that look like they're actually quite literally having an argument over one of the nuts that one of them is holding in its possession. So, for the most part, it's just been, an uneventful walk.
Take pictures, do the tourist thing.
Stroll, do tourism. I need Stavi and Jurlith as the people in the front to roll a perception check.
You got it.
I'm back 2 now.
Okay. So, you guys come up on, like another clearing, and up ahead you actually see this large, round, boulder, golem-looking like creature. And he's just kind of very slowly wandering his way through the clearing. He doesn't appear to be looking particularly stealthy or particularly aware of his surroundings. He stops, he bends down very slowly, and appears to try to pick up something small and slender that also looks, hey buddy, go to daddy. Hey, listen, go to daddy. Do you know where daddy is? You don't know? Daddy's at the dining room table, okay? Can you go to daddy? Sorry.
He's there because Kag never stops eating anymore.
I guess that's what happens when we make him play the dining room table. Anyway, okay. So it bends down very slowly and picks up this kind of like tiny, slender rock formation from the ground. It uses its, large maws and tries to make a pincer notion, but the first attempt appears too strong, and whatever it is it's going for just kind of crumbles in its grasp. And he kind of gives this disapproving grunt of like, And the second time he moves a few steps more and he bends down and he tries to pick it up, and this one he kind of manages to get successfully as he looks it over and lets off a more inquisitive sound of like, oh.
Does he eat it or anything?
He's just looking at it. He just seems kind of interested in whatever it is.
Davi will say hi in giant.
Oh, good God.
Oh,
The creature seems
Let's
to
leave her,
startle a
keep
little
walking.
bit.
I'm going to reach out belatedly and ineffectively to stop her because I would have never imagined anybody would do that.
The creature slowly turns and looks over at you, Davi, looking startled, and as it does, its pincers, like clasp once more, and it snaps the other rock figure form, whatever it is, in its fingers, and it lets out this deep roar of alarm as it notices you. And as it lets off this roar, you notice another boulder that's nearby actually slowly comes up, lifting its head as you
Great.
find yourself with two of these now looking at you. So,
All right.
Gonna hurt you.
I'm
It's
gonna-
okay.
I'm
Do
gonna
you guys
cast-
know how I feel about this place?
She'll use different languages to
switch
see if they understand any of it.
No, they clearly understand a language, so I'm going to cast message.
okay.
120 feet, creature within range of a whisper message. As long as it understands a language, it can understand me. And
Okay.
I'm going to let it know, we are not here to harm you. We are passing through simply.
Okay. So as you do that, the creature kind of turns and it considers you for a moment. Let me see.
Oh, shit, what did I
Message.
miss?
Davy said, "Hey, here's a rock monster. I'm going to talk to it."
And then we got a battle map?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to diffuse this
Can
social.
reply. Okay.
And I believe I can make a persuasion check as I say this.
Yes, you can.
I'm good, pretty good at persuasion, guys. Social powers.
Oh.
Aw, it's a baby.
Okay.
Baby was persuaded. It's
Yeah.
So
Persuade him to go to sleep.
No, he's adorable.
Rafferty, you call out, saying, hey, we're just passing through, and it kind of looks at you, and you can see as it seems to take, even in the language it understands, it seems to take a moment for it to kind of process it. It doesn't strike you as the most intelligent creature. It considers you for a moment, and it says, these mine, leave.
Okay.
I think we're going to go around this clearing, guys.
Sounds good to me.
I'm not
I
sure why
don't
that was
feel.
the plan to start with.
Yeah, well, talk to Davy. Because apparently she would like to talk to you, so.
Okay. So as you go, both of the stone creatures, they hold their ground. They don't, move forward or, go back. They just kind of stand there watching you. Obviously very territorial of whatever is going on in this area. They just stand there and kind of turn as you go, watching as you kind of make a wide girth, and head on your way. And they don't make any other aggressive moves. They just let you, carry on. So Eurolith, make another perception check.
Okay. With Davi's help?
Yes,
Yeah,
unless you
let's have
decided
Davy
you're not
help.
friends anymore.
Of course.
unless you're questioning Davi's judgment now.
Hey,
Well-
I said hi. We talked to it. Now we don't have to fight it. We're not around. It's all
Well, I
good.
know, but
Why
I
are
mean,
you
perhaps
doing this? Go
next
back.
time, next time we'll just, Oh boy. So glad
Nailed
I
it.
got her help.
So
It
You know,
helps
you
when
once again-
open your eyes.
Maybe she quit
Oh.
arguing with me. and with-
listen, Eurolith looks off and she very clearly sees the next leaf that looks like it's brighter, and so she just starts heading off in that direction. This time going more sharply east than before. Just continuing on the way.
As a metagamer, I object to this. But alright, let's do this.
Unfortunately, metagaming is not allowed. So,
Don't piss
Yeah,
off
let's-
the GM, CAG.
carrying on her way, she and Davi leading the party. You got, once again, that the going is pretty peaceful. You don't notice anything else out of the ordinary. As you are continuing on for a little bit, you move into another clearing, and you actually do see something that's a little strange. Over off to the side, you see that there is a tree stump, kind of like up over to the front and left of you. And sitting on it is an individual, but he's staring straight ahead. His eyes are blank. His expression is impassive, and he's completely still. He has two curled horns that stick out from his short, curly brown hair. His chest is bare, but his lower body appears to be that of a goat or a ram rather than a human. I need you guys to make another Arcana check.
All of us.
Yes.
I know what it is.
I just would like
do
to
you?
say that I love how much this is like Narnia. Out of character. Okay.
It's a little more trying to kill you than Narnia.
So
I don't know,
Leo,
Narnia was not exactly easy, okay?
Leo, standing in the middle of the group, looks over and he's kind of like, "What the hell is that?" And all the rest of
Leo's
you,
just kind of over the whole Feywild thing at this point.
everybody else kind of looks over at Leo like he's crazy, and they're like, "It's clearly a satyr," you know.
I
So
don't care. Don't talk to it.
Don't talk to it.
Yes, talk to it. Might have
and
to
of course,
Why?
all the classics that go with it, being, a little mischievous, tricking girls out of their maidenhood. They're not innately bad, just definitely on the trickster scale of Fae. You haven't known them to hurt or, do anything unwilling or vile to anyone, though they, do have a reputation for being more on the promiscuous side. So
If anybody
This
can
one-
lose their maidenhood, they do it on their own time.
this one
Someone
is
summon
sitting.
me?
Oh, jeez.
You're gonna
Are
lose,
you gonna lose your maidenhood?
No, he's gonna lose his mandenhood.
Okay, you gotta go talk to that dude.
All right.
So
Send Spider to talk to him.
guide
Hello
this
there.
particular satyr. Okay, you go over. It sits on the step, just kind of staring blankly forward. And as you go over and you say hello, it doesn't move at all or respond.
Does
Good try. Let's move on.
Look. We need to keep that heart away from Tab because he's going to use the first chance he gets.
Hi.
I'm going to
Does he
kind of.
respond?
Is he?
I'll go too.
Is where he's
It doesn't
sitting on the
budge.
stump? Is he too tall for us to get? Is he above
No,
us?
it's low. No, it's a very natural chair-like position.
So I can put stick my face where his vision is.
Yes.
Careful.
Yeah.
Does he have a heart?
Is he breathing?
Wait, what?
Cog roll.
How are we investigating this?
Roll a medicine check. Oh, you know what I've been forgetting, Cog? Roll a medicine check with disadvantage.
Oh, motherfucker.
I know.
Why is he a disadvantage?
Because the
Okay.
hag did something to him.
Yes. So, Cog, you go and you kind of look and you try to get a sense, and you don't see his chest really rising or falling, but it's kind of hard to tell.
Can I go look at him?
Sure.
He dead.
I'm
Bobby?
going to cast a message to attempt to communicate with him telepathically.
Okay.
Leah's
Davi,
gonna
you
go
go
try to
over?
find some more of these leaves.
And Davi, as you go over and you kind of look to see, if he's, breathing or anything, he does not appear to be breathing. Rafferty, as you go to send the message, you actually don't get anything. It's like there's nothing there. Like you just can't quite make contact. Something seems to be blocking it.
Is there any
Okay.
is this guy bait? Is there anyone in the field around us? Can I just kind of give a quick look around?
Roll a perception check, also with disadvantage.
I hate everything.
This is going to be the greatest.
You don't see anything.
Does it look like he's looking at
Oh, I'm sorry, you broke up, Felix. Does it look like he's looking at?
anything in particular?
You can turn and follow his train of sight and make a perception check.
Oh, sweet. I'm good at those.
It's okay, so is Scott.
Incoming 1.
So good at them.
Okay.
Oh my god.
He doesn't appear to be. In fact, as you kind of look at him and you look off into the woods, his eyes don't even quite appear focused. He's just almost statuesque in the way he's sitting.
Guys, this guy's not going to be helpful to us. Perhaps we can move on.
Is he still warm?
If you want to touch him, go right ahead.
If you want to touch him, you can roll another perception check.
Perception check to see if this guy's warm?
Okay, we can do it. We can do investigation. Because, you're touching and moving things.
Okay.
Leo's been trying to pick up the trail again.
So normally...
Roll a perception check.
No, I'm not going to worry about that because he would not find it.
I normally would roll at advantage, but because I'm disadvantaged, it's just normal now.
You're not disadvantaged on investigation.
Oh, I'm not disadvantaged on investigation at all?
You're only disadvantaged on any check that deals with wisdom. Intelligence is fine.
Okay, so let me roll again then. So that should be advantage.
Okay, so
Well, that was wasted.
Okay.
Ag, as you reach out and you touch this creature, suddenly it just disintegrates. It just completely collapses onto the stump and just this pile of dirt and clay.
Yep. Leo killed it.
And roll whatever you're going to have to roll for the fact that you touched it.
And breathed in whatever it disintegrated into.
Oh god.
So,
Papa, I've got the black lung.
so as you guys, kind of stand around looking at it, Leo, you off to the side, having nothing to do with this, actually hear footsteps coming from over off towards the east.
Oh great.
What y'all
Is he the
do?
only one that hears?
He's the only one kind of still over there. You guys kind of moved over to look at this guy. Leo has been pretty clear that he's got nothing to do with you.
I'm going to see if I see anything like, what do y'all guys do now?
Roll a perception check.
Who?
Leo.
We may have
Nailed
broken
it.
it.
Okay. Thankfully, Leo, this guy is just doesn't appear to be putting forth any effort towards, being quiet. And you notice as over off to the woods, in comes trancing yet another satyr. Just kind of clomping on his merry way. And as he comes into the clearing and notices your group, he looks between all of you. And then he looks over to the pile of dust that's on the stump. And
He was that way when
goes,
we found him.
What? What happened? What did you do to him?
We
I
didn't
mean-
do anything.
I'm not with them, but
Oh,
I don't think it was anything particular.
it's okay. You couldn't have known. It
Was
just,
he old?
it took,
That happens to old people.
no, what? No, that was Glad. He's not, well, sort of. That's my glamour of a companion. He's, the real Glad is being held hostage, but he kind of pauses.
Wait, so you made a copy of your friend to hang out with?
I'm going to look over to Davy and go, this guy's going to be your friend.
He looks over.
Not mine.
He looks over, kind of noticing the group, and his eyes kind of stop on Urolith, and he begins to move forward, and he says, "My, aren't you exquisite?"
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
I will trade her for whatever.
Or we make.
To trade.
Okay, well, how old are you? Wait, go back to where you made a copy of your imprisoned friend and stuck him on a tree stump.
He holds up a finger, continuing to move towards Urolith. "Aren't you absolutely delectable?"
He's after your maidenhood, Earlith.
I'm gonna curl my tail around
Her
myself.
scaly dragon maidenhood.
You rare, ripe peach, please tell me, divine Fae.
We should have
what
made her
name
get a
do you go by?
webcam for this, guys.
I cannot even, y'all. Like I said, I'm sort of drawing my wings and tail around me and then edging off to the.
Davi's just gonna
No.
cross her arms, stand back, and just look between them like,
Leah's
What
calling
the
after
hell
you.
is
That's
going
the
on?
bridge is probably for sale.
Don't be shy. I understand. I will give you your space, and you will come to know me in time, and you will enjoy it.
Biblically.
I think she said nobody.
Oh, I haven't heard a no yet. And he kind of turns back to Leo with that.
Earless, say no.
I don't think she wants to say no. Guys, we
There's
could,
no need to judge now.
you know what fine dragony women like? I just say to helping them get to where they want to go.
Oh, and where is it you're trying to go?
You know,
I'm gonna let Davy explain where we're trying to go.
Going to the Encore.
Oh, well, you are somewhat in the right direction then. You're a little off path, but
We may have
I've been
failed
to
a
Adam
perception check. We're doing the best we can.
Also, you don't know which direction we came from.
no, but I do know where the Autumn Court is.
All right. Well, where is it?
I think I could help you with that, but I would need you to help me with something first.
I mean, she said no.
What's that?
Oh, believe me, I would never hold a woman to a bargain like that. That is something that I will learn in my own time with my own wit and charm.
What is it you're needing?
Well, I see that you have met my companion Glet. He, as I mentioned, he is currently being held hostage at a nearby ogre camp, and I would request that you help me to take the necessary measures to reacquire him.
Can we just go back to where you made a copy of him and hung out with him? What was that about?
There aren't many out here that appreciate and share my exquisite taste in the female form in all its varieties. I was lonely without him.
I mean, if you're making something that you're holding hostage and hanging out with a glamour, why don't you make a female next time?
Oh, but the females, they come and they go. I like variety. The world is a buffet to be experienced and cherished, but Glet...
Let me tell you, friend, the
Glet's
more
not
they
true.
do of the former, the less they'll do of the latter.
Well, the Glet is my
Gotta
long
look at Cag as like a
companion.
friend of yours.
Davi's just gonna ease away from this dude, man.
Oh, but hold, let me explain fully before we fall into any deals. It was some moons ago that we noticed a number of ogres started gathering on a hill over off in the distance, and we decided to take a peek and see what was going on. We didn't
Were
make
they
it far though.
exquisite?
Oh no, not the ones we didn't even make it to their camp to where they had been gathering. Instead, we ended up laywayed by half a dozen beautiful female creatures. They were lounging in the shade outside the camp, gossiping while their men went off to play. And among them was the most beautiful prize that I had witnessed in weeks. She wasn't like the rest. Instead of combing fingers through her hair, she was grinding a whetstone against a blood-stained axe. Emerald skin and raven hair and her tusks. Oh, God, she was gorgeous.
Sounds like you have a type.
Oh, believe me, so would you.
I don't want to
Try
hear
as
your
I might.
fantasies here.
Try as I might, I couldn't catch her interest. Finally, she challenged me
Gee, I
to a
wonder
game
why.
as a way to earn her favor. She said that if I won in her game, she would humor me with an evening's delight. But if she won, then she got to keep Glet in servitude, which sounded like a fair deal to me.
What did Glut think about this?
He wasn't around. He didn't get a say.
Well, figure.
So little did I realize that this encampment that we'd stumbled upon was actually a fighting ring of sorts. And so she took me to the center, and I am not afraid to say that this woman of such broad was able to completely obliterate me in moments, but
That's
I
okay.
had the last.
We'll,
I had
we'll
the last.
shove Cag into her and then beat her with a warhammer.
I don't need to be
Give her
shoved
carpet.
into any more things, thank you.
Give her the carpet special.
We
Well-
can handle a good fight, guys.
I figured a woman
care about
obliterating
this
you was
dude, but-
exactly what you're looking for.
I mean, it was very pleasurable. I ended up getting the last laugh because she lifted me above her head, and right before she threw me down, breaking my spine and slamming me into the ground, I managed a cup of very generous feel, and it was worth the entire endeavor.
You don't have a broken spine.
He
well,
got
not
better.
anymore.
You don't heal that very easy. What do you
Oh,
mean?
they have healers. It's part of the whole thing that they're doing. Apparently, it's a place for them to come and test their skills against one another.
Hmm.
She's created a trap for our metagaming CAG and Felix guys.
So your deal is here for us to go deal with this person that broke your spine by throwing you on the ground to get your
Well,
friend that you're making copies of for some reason.
for company, I don't see why this eludes you so much. Well, perhaps I do. I see that you travel with a wide variety. Me looks back to your list of very delectable companions. I can see how you wouldn't understand the isolation and loneliness that becomes someone who is left out here.
Right. Can we go back to where we actually benefit from this?
Certainly. What I need is to free Glet. I am so lonely without him. I need him. I need him back by my side. She said that if one were to best her in a battle, then she would return him, but I am obviously not of the skill to do so. So perhaps if
Is this a one-on-one only combat ring?
I'm afraid that's something you would have to ask of them. In my experience, I have only gone with myself against her, but I don't know what other, how else it may work. I'm not much of a fighter, in case you didn't notice.
Yeah, we get what you are and what you're not. Lover, not a fighter. Got it. I'm gonna have to go, guys.
Precisely.
I'm handing the reins over to CAG. CAG be a pretentious douche and win the social checks.
Too easy.
Keep us out of trouble.
Says
See you
Meg.
guys next time.
Bye,
See ya.
Bye, says.
Don't
We're
kill
doomed
anyone
now.
while I'm not there to laugh at them.
Can I kill CAG?
We'll kill Keg later.
Yes. Record it.
Okay, we will.
All right. So let's step through this. You made a deal. You lost a deal. Now you want us to go make a deal with the person you lost a deal for a deal with you when we can just go make a deal with the person you lost to.
No. I am looking for you to fight someone and only make a deal with me.
Okay, but what do you
Why we're
offer?
not making a deal with the...
By all means, if you believe that you can garner her favor and make a deal with her, then I suppose
I
that
mean,
is
we
your
have a
prerogative.
delectable woman over here to offer.
Hey,
You do have a
hey!
delectable woman.
What are you offering us?
Two delectable women, I should say.
Oh,
Kind of-
just hush. What are you offering us?
well,
Oh, David Dobby's having none of his bullshit.
you say that you seek the Autumn Court. I can guide you to the Autumn Court. If there's anything else that you feel would be of more
You already
equitable
know how to get
value,
on.
Yeah, you already told us we're getting close. We're good.
Yeah.
all
We
right,
made it
very
this
well.
far.
I mean,
You better offer up more than that if you want.
I do believe that close was not the word I used, but
On the right track, you said. And we already know the track, so...
well, very well then. I suppose that you don't need anything from me.
Well,
What else do you offer?
Well, what else do you need?
let's start from the beginning here.
hmm
What's
Who are
of
you?
value to you?
And what is your position around here?
My position? My name is Craig.
It's a dangerous
I
person.
am
Craig?
Hi, Craig.
Craig.
Oh,
I like to think of myself as a bit of an ambassador to these parts. I have connections in a variety of the courts and lands. I am frequently welcomed into the Autumn Court, which I'm sure you already have an invitation, of course, as that is where you're going. I
Oh,
have
of
been
course.
known to take time among the admiral's ships and introduce him to some of the finest delicacies that he's experienced. I have the ear of several of the dryads in the area, and I've also been known to
Insight
frequent
check.
Yeah,
Roll an
inside
insight
check.
Oh,
I wanna
would
roll
like,
an insight check.
I would like to insight check this little bugger too.
I'm
Okay.
not even gonna bother because wisdom.
Leo, he appears to be 100% honest. He's definitely very haughty about his position and how well liked he is, but he seems to have definitely met these people and to definitely have gotten around the kingdom a little bit.
All right.
So what
Oh,
you're
do you-
offering us? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I have the ears of many dryads, and I've also been known to frequent a banquet upon occasion within the Lord of Bats region, but I will confess they are not quite as fond of my games as the others are. They've been known to call me perverse and classless snobs, as though they're any better, and they think to call themselves unseelie fae.
So, you seem to be a handy person to know in that case. So,
Well,
I'll,
people are my business.
we can go see about your friend. No guarantees there, but in exchange, how about you follow us at Autumn Court and you will owe us a favor?
That is a steep request. You said there are no guarantees with my friend, though.
I mean, we will go do what you asked and talk to this lady or person, whatever it is, but we're not going to put our lives in danger for rescuing your friend or for a deal.
But if we don't do our part, you don't do your part.
If you don't feel that we can accomplish what you asked, then our deal will not be engaged, so to speak.
Your suggestion that you will not guarantee the retrieval of my friend and I will offer you a blanket open deal is a fairly unfair exchange.
Not that. You would be nothing on your part until we fulfill our part, which is bringing your friend back to you.
Okay, so his return is part of the guarantee. I mean, I do enjoy Glat, but the blanket open offer of any...
I mean, who else are you going to find just wandering here and able to accomplish what you're looking for? I don't see that many people just walking around here, especially with a favorable view.
Roll a persuasion check.
With advantage?
just flat persuasion. Actually, you know what? Davi was working with you, so yes, with advantage. Not that you need.
All right.
I have been quite lonely. And I suppose that at worst, even the company of delectable young women is better than the company of the dryads that I've spent decades with.
I mean, old company does grow stale.
All right. Then I will, if you are able to free Glet, then I will travel with you to the Autumn Court. And
you will owe us a favor. All right.
Yes. All right.
I'll look at everybody else and make sure this seems okay. I'll take the stunning silence. Yes.
I'm just trying to just sort of low key just edge away from him. He's way too interested.
Leah just sidling out of there.
He kind of perks up, claps his hands together. Very well, then. He turns back to you, Yolith. My lady, would you care to take my arm?
I'm fine on my own, thank you.
I'll get it back if you offer it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Give
thank
it time.
You, though.
Give it time. I understand. I am an exotic flavor. It takes some time for some to acquire the taste. Very well.
I mean, it just seems ridiculous because Earlitz is like, however tall she is, she's like 6'4". I mean, it's just ridiculous.
He's a solid 5'5", you know.
A solid 5'5". Okay.
5'5.5".
So, clasping his hands before him, he leads off into the west of the forest, humming merrily as you go. The trek is very easy and straightforward, and actually doesn't take that long before
Are we actually following him to start?
Are you?
I guess we are.
It isn't very long before off, through the trees, you actually see this large stone structure in the distance. And this structure is massive, almost absurdly so. It looks like it could fit hundreds of thousands of people inside, but instead of that, you only see like maybe a couple dozen meandering around outside. most of the kind of races and ethnicities you don't recognize. A lot of them appear to be kind of giant and trollish in nature. You see some that are, some of the more animalistic ones like Kaylee that you encountered, just different kind of more to what you've come to understand to be kind of like lower class Fey-like creatures, just kind of coming here and there. Craig leads you straight inside a gigantic stone archway that's roughly about 30 feet high, and into this long tunnel that appears to curve around the perimeter of the ring. So you guys begin walking through. Every now and then you pass an open room that's attached to this tunnel, and looking inside, you see a couple of makeshift beds and a few more people wandering about, but it doesn't appear to be, very heavily populated, and there also doesn't appear to be any real formal structure set up here. It looks like everything was kind of haphazardly thrown together, and frankly, the majority of the people here look more like squatters than actual residents. So as you guys move through, eventually Craig kind of veers off into one of these side rooms, and following behind you see a large ogre eating what appears to be an entire cooked bird out of the palm of his hand. So let me link him for you. As Craig walks in, he kind of raises a hand and says, good day, Chief Vukor. And the large creature, this kind of lumbering in the corner, turns its head towards them. And for those of you that have seen ogres in the prematerial plane, you are pleasantly surprised to find that Vukor is significantly more palatable than those that you've previously encountered. He's kind of large and hulking and wiry still with, like these big tusks, but he's got this bluish body, and his hair seems to kind of have the consistency of moss, and he doesn't smell as bad, and the ones you've encountered in the past, you can smell them coming from quite a distance, and it seems that even the ogres of the Feywild are just a little more attractive, though that's a very relative scale given that he is an ogre. He takes another big bite, chews for a moment, and then just kind of like spits this small bone out onto the ground and replies, "What you want, goat man? Dick too small to please ogre women. They say no come back." Craig kind of gives a nervous laugh and says, silly Vukor, that's, and he turns and looks at you. That's nonsense. That didn't, would you happen to know if Lazgarash is around? And the chief kind of watches him for a moment, and he gives a little bit of a shrug, and he rips another mouthful of meat from the underside of the bird. And Craig nods, and he's like, I see. Well, very well. I will seek her out then. Thank you for your time, Chief. Charming as always. He kind of turns and he heads back out of the room. The chief kind of drags an arm across his mouth as he calls after him as he goes, "She no like you dick either, And you hear this like deep guttural laugh that echoes from behind him. So you guys head out.
Staring at this goat person.
You guys head back out into the hallway, and you kind of continue following the perimeter around. You wander for a bit more, and then Craig actually heads through a different archway into the center courtyard of this massive building. Here you find yourselves inside a gladiator ring, which I will change us over to. Okay. It is about 150 feet across, and on the far side from where you are, you can see this small gathering of about 5 individuals. Craig heads over and actually walks straight up to an orcish woman that is standing there. She's standing kind of on the edge of the crowd with her arms crossed. I need you guys to make another Arcana check.
All of us?
Yes, all of you can.
Arcana. Da-da-da-da.
Poor Gog.
Are you
So
rolling
Kai-
for Rafferty?
I mean, you
I'm
can,
not
but you
worried
guys are good.
Yeah.
So, Cog, you're kind of like, oh, okay, she's an orc. The rest of you kind of had this moment where you pause and you're like, this is weird. To the best of your knowledge, orcs are not from the Feywild. This is, they are of prime-material origin like you guys are, so it's kind of odd to see one of them here. Craig walks right up to her, though, and goes, Lazgarash, graceful as you are gallant. How have you been, Jim? And how is Gillette? Serving you well, I hope. She kind of turns and looks down at him. considering him for a moment, and goes, "What do you want?" He kind of chuckles. He's like, "Why, to take you up on your offer to reclaim my friend, of course. I hope you don't mind, but I've elected champions to fight in my stead." She kind of looks at him for another moment and looks over at your party. "Who?" Craig kind of turns and with a sweeping arm gestures broadly at all of you. "These fine, talented, valiant individuals have agreed to fight in my stead in order to reclaim Glet."
We'll take that under advisement, but that's not exactly how it went. But proceed.
Lasgrash kind of looks at you, Leo, and, considers for a moment before looking back down at Craig and saying, "I'm the champion now. Prove they're worth my time. I will face the best fighter. If they win, you can have your goat man back." Craig kind of nods.
Is there a prize for the champions?
She looks over up at you, Leo, and she goes, "It varies. You pay to get into the pool. You win whoever wins takes the whole lot."
I pay to get into the pool. Are we talking like somebody's memory of their first birth or their happiness sucked out of their soul, whatever else weird things you do around here?
She kind of gives a
Fake
shrug.
money.
It varies. She hikes a thumb over at the goblin that's actually kind of at the center of the group who appears to be talking to the other individuals there. He usually decides if it's worthwhile, but generally the price isn't that high. In case you haven't noticed, we don't have a large gathering here. Not many people are able to pay anything too extensive, but it's a fun enough way to pass the time.
All right. So, Leo just kind of sounding defeated at this point. Tell me the process of getting to where we can earn goat guys. Craig here, his friend back.
That's not my job. I've got stuff to do. Talk to Rab. She kind of
What
turns and
stuff?
looks at
Is
looks
she actually
at,
doing anything? Is she just standing there?
she was just standing there. She looks at
You
Craig
don't
for a
look
moment
that busy.
before turning and looking back at you, Leo, long and hard for a moment and saying, "Stuff." Starts wandering off into a far edge of the arena.
I was busy too before I came here.
So you guys are left with this kind of odd spattering of three other individuals standing around, one of whom appears to be a half-elf. And then... a lizard man-looking individual, and then an ogre. And they are all kind of standing around this goblin who is standing on a crate, kind of conversing with everybody as they're
I'll
kind
find
of
him.
Wow. He is special.
his goods are exchanging hands. The goblin's kind of speaking now to the half elf. He's like, all right, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, yep, I'll put your name down. And the half elf also kind of wanders off. Trig turns and looks at you guys. He's like, well, here we are. What is your plan?
All right. You said we dealt with her, and then we get your guy back. That's not what she said. So, anything else surprises you want to bring us here, Craig?
No, I told you that you have to fight her. That's what she told me. That if I want to get Glet back, I have to fight. I have to fight her.
This is just one of us fighting.
And he kind of turns and looks at the goblin, and he goes, I believe he would be the one for the arrangements. I don't know. This isn't my thing. I'm a
Then maybe you shouldn't have done this to start with, shouldn't you, Craig?
Well, the things, I mean, you've seen the treasures that you travel and companion with. That the things that we do for lust are, it was,
Dumb.
I mean, it would have been
Dumb,
worth
I
it.
think what you're looking for.
Would it have been worth it, though? Really? I mean, you lost
Did you
your best
see
friend.
her? Did you see her? I've never seen a creature like her in these woods.
But you
Gorgeous.
lost your best friend because
Well, but to her companionship, who knows what uses she's been putting him to?
And to be fair, he made a copy of his friend, so he didn't miss him that much.
This is true. He wasn't as conversational, but I got to do most of the talking, which frankly I prefer anyway.
He also crumbles to dust if you touch him. It seems to be a kind of a flaw in your plan there.
Well, my glamour isn't as masterful as some, but in a couple days I should be able to construct another one.
So, in other words, you're telling us you're not that invested in getting your friend back.
Well, would I have offered you a bargain if I wasn't willing to, go to some extent to retrieve him?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
I think so.
I'll leave this bargain up to Leo.
He moves closer to you. I see the hesitation. It seems that someone has wronged you in your past, and I want you to know.
Let's change the deal with her. If you touch her, deal's off.
I think we should go talk to this little goblin rab dude.
But what if she grants me permission first?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Sure.
So.
You know
But if
what?
it does,
If she grants you permission, I will cheer you on.
he holds up his hands, twiddling his fingers. You have my word, only with permission.
Thank God. Okay.
All right, so
I'll be right back. I got to let the dog out.
Yeah, or something. He's driving me nuts. So the little goblin there was one seemed to be arranging stuff.
Yes.
So I guess I will head over to him and go, "Hi there.
Oh, hi. What can I do for you?
So are we fighting you?
No. Never.
But let's go over the rules here because we're new in town."
Okay. So here's how this works. People decide that they're going to participate, and we set you up in battles, one against the other, and whoever wins at the end gets to fight Lazgrash, and if you're able to beat her as the reigning champion, then you take the pot. If she wins, then she gets, everything that was brought in for the day.
1-on-1 team fights.
1-on-1.
All right. Well,
No weapons, no armor, just fists.
I guess we're out of here. Just gotta turn and look at everybody else.
When you say just fists,
Yep.
What about magic?
Magic, so anything that you gotta, like use spell components for, or focuses and stuff, we don't use that. But anything like, you get creatures from all over here, like, if you're a frog and you can jump higher, that's part of your body. So, if it's something that, just kind of comes naturally to you, then that's totally permissible. Meaning, DM translation, things like feats and traits are allowable. So like lightning breath and hellish rebuke and all those kinds of things are totally fine. It's like legit magic spells that aren't allowed.
So, I have subtle spell, which you can spend a sorcery point to cast without any somatic or verbal components, which means I don't need a focus for it.
You can certainly try.
I like where your head's at.
So basically, you decide if you want to participate, and then we'll pin you up against somebody, and whoever makes it to the end, you fight Lazgrash, you might go home a little bit richer. You never know. In worst case scenario, it's not like there's going to be any lasting damage. We've got stuff here to, get you ready and stuff. We're not trying to, hurt anybody per se. We're just trying to have a little bit of fun. So.
And what? Not first blood knockout. Somebody had to resurrect you.
No, never that far. Just knocked out. Generally, it doesn't. Sometimes it goes that far. Sometimes people end up, bowing out. You're welcome to bow out at any time. So.
And the prize from the prize pot, are we buying in? Is there a fee to purchase in here?
Everyone who participates, you put something in the pot. I judge if it's worthwhile for the other competitors.
By something, are we talking silver, gold?
Sure. We've got
firstborns.
Oh no, nothing that valuable. Have you seen these people around here? You're fighting, this isn't anything going on in the courts or anything. Lazgrash, she seems particularly fond of the little gold circles. Some people like them. I don't know, but people bring different things. I had somebody the other day who brought his grandmother's pot. He says that it makes the best stew, but you'd be surprised what people could be happy with.
So what you're saying is we can fight in this ring, and what we get as a prize is somebody's grandmother's pot.
No, that one was already taken. Last Grush has actually got that. She's actually got a pretty sizable loot building up, but you never know. Mostly it's for fun. So
That's one idea of fun, yeah.
So, who are we electing to go fight?
oh, listen, you're all welcome to participate.
I'll pass.
It's your loss. I hear it was a fine pot.
Hmm.
How many fights are there?
Well, currently we have 3 people signed up.
Not counting
Is that-
Razgrish.
Does that count Last Crash?
No, she's last. As the reigning champion, she goes last. So 4 total.
I'm just gonna look at everybody else. Is somebody feeling up for this?
No,
Do we get healed between fights?
Yep, always. Yep.
I'll do it.
All right. That's one down. Come on. You all look like strapping, brave people.
If you all sign up, are we gonna have to fight each other?
It's all, it comes out of the hat. You don't know.
So what?
I try to keep it fair.
We don't have to beat everybody to fight the champion.
No, it's like a bracket, 2 people advance and it just kind of works its way down.
All right.
Just throw my name in there.
And he kind of points at Leo. This is a budding business, and from what I can tell, it looks like you've got a mind for business. Have you thought about seeking employment?
I have thought about a lot of things since I came here, and that was no.
Well, if at the end of this you find that you kind of like it and you see what we're doing, I really think that you should go and you should talk business plans with the chief. He's
The ogre out there
yeah, Chief Fukar.
yelling about people's dick.
He's a character, but he overpays frequently because I'm pretty sure he can't count. So I think someone like you could really help him, grow this whole endeavor.
Yeah. Sound business mind there. You're right. So, Jacobus, Kiga, you want to do it? Davi?
I feel like
Davi stepped away. There was one-on-one fights. To unconscious, and then to heal you between fights.
no
No
armor.
No
No
armors, no
spells.
weapon, no magic.
armors, no weapons, no magic.
No armors, no weapons, no magic.
It's a fist fight.
No, thank you.
Yeah, the thing
You're not
is not
gonna die.
included either.
So,
You get healed.
just to clarify, okay, no, you go on real quick, Leah.
I have a question. So
Yes.
my lightning breath ability, I can't tell from my sheet. I can only use that after once
Yeah.
a day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so before people make choices, let me let you know that for the fight, I looked up some homebrew modified brawl rules. So here's the way that it works. We'll see. There's a game called Let's See If It Breaks the System. So
Goody.
it works on the stamina point system. Your stamina is equal to 10 plus your constitution modifier, which means that Davi has 13, Jacobus has 11, Cog has 13, Leo has 12, Rafferty has 12, and then Eurolith, you have 10. These are basically like energy points. The idea is that you have 4 real moves that you can make: a normal attack, a powerful attack, a grapple, and then a wait or defend. Attacks and powerful attacks cost stamina to do them. A normal attack just costs 1. A powerful attack, if it hits, costs 1. If it misses, costs 3. So you start at your cap stamina and you kind of slowly work your way down. Once you get to 5 stamina, you start kind of having some ill effects like disadvantage on attacks, taking double damage, being too tired to dodge, those kinds of things. So that's how ultimately that kind of puts like a time cap, I guess, on the fight. For the attacks, it is 1d6 plus your strength modifier for damage. If you do a powerful attack, it's 2d6 plus your strength modifier. And then your AC is 10 plus your dex. So it sounds really complicated when I throw it all out there like that. But basically, it's based on your strength and your dex. And
What about
then
the microtransactions?
Right.
What can I pay to buy here?
Can I just be crowned
So-
champion of the ring?
Well, Leo is not going to get in a fist fight with somebody, so that's ridiculous. So Kega and Jacob are fighting. Davi, Irlith.
So my ability to do it is pretty high.
You have.
You are the strongest one in the group and the highest constitution, I think. So
Yeah, you and Cog have the highest stamina, and you have actually Jacobus has the highest AC, so because he's dexterous, he's just like.
So wait. So what would my AC?
You have 10 stamina and 13 AC.
Okay.
So you have the second highest AC under Jacobus.
I was gonna say, what's mine then?
Yours is 12.
just unarmored.
I mean, honestly, this is the kind of thing that Earlith would do. Foolhardy or no. So,
Can she spear somebody on dragon horns?
She can certainly try.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, this is kind of the thing Earlith would do. Okay, yeah, I'm in.
All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna tell the goblin, I'm in.
All right.
I
So we got
guess I'll
you?
do it reluctantly.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm
it
gonna
says that
stare.
assume the
Leo.
snooty high elf's not going to do it either. So
Yeah, I can't see Rafferty doing it.
Leo's definitely
Yeah,
not doing it.
I'll
All
be
right, we got 4 contestants. Sign it up in a piece of paper. And so exactly what are we paying for this?
well, let's see. What do you got?
I'll put a hand in my pocket and drag out some silver. I got silver.
I mean, silver's okay, but
I'll wave Davi over for the bag of holding, and I get the unusually light rock.
what does this do?
It's very light.
It floats.
That's not yours. That's in my personal belonging.
It says in the bag of holding.
Because my personal crap's in the bag of freaking holding because I'm
Well,
carrying
I
it.
guess it's not very
So-
personal,
What
is
is
it?
not yours
Sounds
to
like
give
it's not
away?
personal belonging.
She
You fucking pull it
sees-
out.
She seems really partial to this rock. We'll take it.
It's mine.
Well
Not
played.
yours.
Surely we'll win it back. I will.
You know, you can't just walk over and get stuff out of the bag of freaking holding. It's on me.
I said I waved you over.
He looks over to
I
Dobby.
don't
You know,
go.
we've had people wager people before if you want to put him in for your pot.
Oh man, I'm thinking about that. That's tempting.
I'll be
No.
running this place in a
I've seen
month.
it done.
No, I
We
can't
would love
do
to
that.
have him.
We're from the prime material plane, and this is our currency. And I pull out some broken shells out of the bag of
Roll a
holding.
persuasion check.
Oh man.
With advantage.
just normal. He kind of leans over and looks at him and goes, I mean, I don't know where that is, but I mean, if you say so, I'm sure they got value to somebody. Takes him out of your
All right.
hand.
So do we need something for everybody?
Yep, 2 more.
2 more.
I
Here's I pull out the glass chest piece and the silver skull, tiny silver skull.
Ooh, and he
that
kind
up.
of picks him up and looks at him. He's like, these are nice. Well, I mean, well crafted. All right, okay, sure. We'll take those.
All right.
Okay.
I'll look at this inventory thing and redo this because
Maybe we shouldn't give away her favorite pet rock there.
yeah. Yeah, I've had this thing since I was in freaking prison in the freaking Underdark.
Whoa. I mean, I don't know where that is. But that sounds intense. I mean, you know, it's not a done deal yet. If you want to trade it for something else, we can do that.
I'll pull out this. What we got here? A bronze cup. Let's do a bronze cup. How about this one?
Okay, yeah, sure. That sounds good. He gives you back the rock.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll pocket the rock.
No, you're not.
You know, like I said, we're not really doing any kind of like big wagers here or anything. It's just kind of small stuff. So,
All right.
Davi.
Right.
It's on Davi now.
She changed the inventory.
On Davi. Gonna go change all this crap over my freaking dead body.
I think she's going to do well. She's going to put a fight in her, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
we can discuss her keeping her too.
No, you're not.
Ah.
Like hell you are.
All right. Well, we're just going to wait just like a little bit to see if anybody else shows up. And I mean, that's usually about the size group we've got. So, yeah, if you guys just want to, wander around, maybe meet some of your competitors, like feel free to do so. So,
All right.
nice
So
folks around here.
Who's around us right now?
Roll perception check.
Are they hiding?
They got scared.
Big 150-foot thing. You look around and you don't see anybody.
Okay. I mean, I literally don't see people standing directly in front of me, but thanks. Okay, great.
So, I mean, you
don't see anybody.
You're alone.
You're terrified.
You see the goblin there with you. Cog, as you kind of stop, you two, kind of look around. And, it once again hits you how absurdly large this is for the fact that, there are maybe like 2 people up in the stands. And, you notice that, pieces of it are crumbling and stuff. And you realize that this could not possibly have originally been intended for this purpose. That it's really it's a pretty much a ghost town here.
Interesting. And does it look like anyone's trying to sell stuff, or is it just people kind of milling around?
Is there a t-shirt vendor?
From what you can see out here right now, it doesn't appear that anybody's really waiting in the stands yet. Like Rab said, it's not quite time for things to get started. When you were walking through the halls with Craig, you did notice more people in that area. Appears to kind of be like the staging area. I mean, still not a ton. You've probably passed like maybe 20-ish, but yeah, nobody appears to be out here right now except for you guys. So, and the goblin.
Is Craig still there?
Yes, he is. He's standing there. Just kind of like. Kind of wiggling a little bit.
All right, so.
Yes.
Assume you're walking through the forest and you find some where people live, and you want a sandwich. What do you pay for it?
A sandwich, just like from somebody's house?
Yeah, I mean, somebody's standing around selling a sandwich. Nobody trades in anything in this place, and it drives me crazy.
Oh, well, in the courts, things tend to be a little bit more formal. They're a little bit more civilized. Out here, it does tend to be more of a bartering system. Frankly, I don't know that I would take a sandwich. You never know what the cost of that's going to be. Value is pretty relative. Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine wanting a sandwich that bad.
Okay,
Do
well,
you
forget
really
the sandwich.
enjoy sandwiches?
Forget the sandwich. That was a metaphor. I see that does not work. So, if you want to trade things, what do you carry with you?
Oh, well, I pretty much find everything that I need. I don't much need to trade. I mean, sometimes I trade a song or my company, but
walk away.
Well,
Let's get this fight over and let's get home.
Okay, so you guys, kind of like
Leo
meander
is-
around the ring.
Leo is so over the Feywild.
And after a little bit, they end up, kind of calling you over. And he's like, okay, So, it ends up, we didn't end up getting as many people today. I mean, startups is kind of difficult, get the word out there and everything. So,
Do you usually have more people?
yeah, sometimes. I mean, no.
Inside check.
Honestly, no. roll an inside check.
Oh, if you admitted to no, that's fine.
Not really. I mean, we're trying really hard, but I mean, Chief Fukor, he's got this idea in his head, but he just, I don't know, he's not like the most diplomatic guy. It's a whole big thing. Listen, like I said.
Have you considered signage?
Signage. Oh, that's clever. That's clever. I'll try to run it by the chief, but
It's not clever. It's kind of basic.
Well, I'm not sure. The problem is, I'm not sure he's literate, so I don't know if he'll get it. But I mean, maybe if you told him, I'm telling you, I think there's a future for you here.
No, definitely not.
We could sell you here, Leo,
Nope.
Well, let's see. And he kind of goes and he starts looking down the roster he's got in his hands. He's like, all right, you, and he points at Eurolith, you are going to be fighting. And he points over to a nearby order, Wigwog. Oh, I didn't get your name, by the way. Points to Eurolith.
Elsa Jean.
Elsa. All right. So first up, we're going to have Elsa Jean.
Why, Jean? Okay.
That's what I said last time.
Okay.
Versus
Elsa
Wigwag.
Jean. I put my hands on my hips and I'm Elsa Jean.
That's what I named you when it was asked the first time around, so we're sticking with that.
After that, he's going to point at Davi. He's going to say, we're going to have you fighting, points over at the lizard man. You are going to be fighting Thaw. What's your name, by the way?
V.
V. Gotcha. V. All right. And then he kind of points to Jacobus and Cog. I'm going to need you guys to decide. So we got a little bit of an issue. We got an odd number of people today. So I'm going to need one of you guys to decide, like, who's going to go first. Or do you want to fight each other? And then you can decide, which one of you is going to go in.
He can go first.
All right, Cog. Or not Cog. Sorry. You. He points over at Cog. What's your name again?
Bob Barker.
Yeah, Bob Barker.
Okay.
Bob Barker.
Bob. You are going to be fighting Hasten. He points over to the half elf.
Is it like a Spanish Jason?
No. All right. So, with that, he's like, okay. Then first up, we are going to have Elsa Jean versus Wigwag. This should be a good one.
What is Wigwag again? Because I didn't catch that.
Wigwag is this guy.
Fighting ogre.
Mother.
So,
Well,
okay.
you did.
All right.
Oh, shit. I'm just going to go into the ring and I sort of crack my neck and look up at this massive thing. And
Hey, Leah, remember you can fly.
yes, thank you.
All right. So, as we get started, I'm going to need everybody else to, just kind of like move to the sides of the ring. You can go up in the seats if you want, but it's a little bit of a climb and, it's not going to take that long. So, just get wherever you're comfortable. Wigwag and Elsa Jean, you guys head into the middle. And then when I say go, you're going to fight. Okay? It's pretty easy. I mean, you just hit each other and stuff. Okay?
Kick his ass, Elsa Jean.
I'm going to do my best. And
If you can reach it.
I'm going to, flex a little bit.
Right.
Okay.
This
So you
satyr
will
over
go
there
on?
is probably about to drool himself to death.
Cast prestidigitation to make the fireworks over. Really dead.
Okay, so let's go on. We'll go on and drop everybody in over here off to the side.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Hey, it's orange.
And then we'll add. Okay. So, Eurolith, Elsa Jean, you have a start. First, okay. I'm actually going to need you to roll for initiative to see who goes first. Where's my dice?
I thought you were
Okay.
holding a pill case to start with. I was very confused.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So you beat since I didn't actually make him a little chart thing, you beat him on the initiative roll. So you get to go first. So you start out with 10 stamina points. So remember, your options are a normal attack, which is 1d6 plus your strength modifier for damage, a powerful attack, which is 2d6. If you hit, you only use one. It only costs you 1 stamina, but if you miss, it costs 3. So, it's a risky move. You can also grapple him. And then your other alternatives are to wait and defend. When you kind of wait and defend, you actually gain 1 stamina for that round. So it's kind of a way to bring your stamina back up. And you have two options to use as a bonus action there. You can taunt.
So I was distracted by the youngin.
You got to see the Felix Munchkin.
What do you roll to hit?
Yes, you have to roll to hit. You roll a d20 to hit. When you are waiting and offending, you have two options. You can taunt your opponent, which is your persuasion versus their charisma. And if you succeed in taunting them, you force your opponent to do a powerful attack their next round at disadvantage. So likely, more likely to miss you and therefore, ruin their stamina. Or you can attempt to intimidate them, and that's your intimidation versus their charisma. And if you succeed in that, then you frighten them, and there's a chance that they may yield the fight entirely. So.
Okay.
I'm glad we started with Leah.
I'm going to start with intimidation. I'm going to flap them wings out as far as they'll go.
Okay.
And I'm just going to kind of breathe some sparks of lightning out of my nose. And it just, all in all, make myself look bigger. And then I think I'm going to hold and defend for now.
Okay.
And like I said, a try for intimidation.
Okay.
You don't know what you're messing with. You sure really want to mess with me? And like I said, sparks lightning out of my nose a little bit.
All right. Roll for intimidation.
Whoa.
Okay. So you watch as Eurolith, this, kind soul you've come to know, suddenly spreads her wings and rises into the air, sparks coming out of her nose, her eyes widening as she stares down at this ogre with just this absolutely manic, crazy look on her face. The ogre, watching her lift into the air, seeing her channel all of this draconic heritage that she's had bottled up, literally pisses himself as he just kind of stares and cowers under this creature, and he turns and he looks over to the goblin and he starts saying, I'm out! And slowly backs away towards the far wall because that guy rolled a 0.
Miniature Shrek, no, so tough.
Yes.
So
Okay. So
Rab, who's standing there, just kind of looks completely shocked by this. Craig just kind of shakes his head and starts applauding loudly from the sideline. Beautiful, beautiful. That was amazing. Your power, your prowess. Oh, by the gods, what a magnificent creature.
I got to kind of lean over to Rab. You want to do a side bet?
Okay, so
you're
Rab,
listening.
Rab shakes his hands and goes, all right then, that's Elsa Jean. That's a clear advancement to the first round, to the next round. Congratulations.
I'm going to take a little bow and move off to the edge of the ring.
Whew, that was, we've been doing this for like a couple weeks, but we've never seen anything like that before. That was incredible. Okay, so next we have.
Where is everybody?
He kind of looks down at his list. He goes, all right, next I'm going to need Bob and Hasten to take the field, please.
All right, I'm moving back over by Davi a little bit.
Okay.
Davi will pat her on the back.
I'm gonna wander up there and
I'm going to kind of tuck my wings back down and
So if
resume
Cock
my...
changes, does he get to use those stats instead?
Being that it is a trait, that is your understanding of the situation. So,
do I have
Cog.
to use the brawl rules, or are you just gonna just rip their face off?
use the brawl rules.
The attacks will likely fit into one of the categories. So, okay, Cog, as you make your way out, you watch as this half-elf, also follows you out onto the field. He's got, just kind of this brown hair, and, he's got just like a little bit of a limp to his pacing. And as he comes and as he stands there, he pauses to the side and he kind of takes off some of his leather armor and stuff and throws it to the side and kind of cracks his neck. Looking over to you, and he goes, "Good day, brother."
I'm gonna take off my own leather armor and
Okay.
stack it in in a pile so that it looks like it's arranged in the way that I would wear it. But just
Does he have anything on underneath?
Does he have what?
Does he have anything on underneath?
Okay.
And I'm taking off my shirt.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
'Cause
God.
it's business time.
So, Cag,
Right.
as you take off your shirt, this individual kind of pauses and looks at you and says, "Brother, indeed." Davi, I need you to roll, and just Davi, a perception check. Actually,
Right.
yeah. No, yeah, let's do a perception check.
Did he see Cog's third nipple and what else related?
Okay. I'm gonna PM you real quick, honey.
Go away. Go away.
No metagaming.
Leo, go away.
No metagaming tab.
She's right there.
I had to physically shove him away.
Good lord.
Okay.
I
So-
know. Go away.
I'm just sitting here. I didn't do anything. I leaned on my chair. Good lord, she's paranoid.
So, as you take off your shirt, Cag, you watch as this other elven individual does the same, and he kind of, rolls his shoulders for a moment and goes, "Very well, let us begin." And in that moment, he kind of like presses his hands down, and you watch as his entire form shifts, and he actually takes the shape of this half boar, half humanoid like creature.
Oh,
His
shit.
skin now completely
Wereboar.
covered in fur. You can. I guess that would be I don't know if that'd be an Arcana check. It's definitely yeah. I guess it'd be an Arcana check. I don't know. An intelligence
Do you know
check.
about were creatures?
I mean, they're in the material plane, so
Can I do can I do some kind of check if they're in the material plane? Then I mean, as a ranger, what would I check?
yeah, that's what I don't know what you would check.
Make one up.
Yeah. Okay, let's do history. Well, history. Nobody has history. I have no
I do.
idea.
Sure.
I do.
Okay,
Can I roll
okay.
a history check?
Roll a history check.
Woohoo!
Oh, that was so close. Given that they are pretty common, Davi, or I mean, at least in, lore and legend, Davi and Jacobus, you're able to pretty quickly discern that this is indeed an individual that has contracted lycanthropy. So, he does appear to be a wereboar.
Or do you? Depends on
So,
explanation.
Cog, rather than like pulling up the whole thing and everything, I need you to just roll for initiative real quick. He got an 8, so
Which is better than that?
Wow. That
Yeah,
is
that's not eight.
really bad.
Okay.
Good lord.
So, with that, Cog, he takes up the opportunity and begins charging towards you, but only makes it this far. So, your turn.
We're doing. Jesus. All right. I guess the brawl rules demand that I do stuff.
Yeah. Most of the game demands that, actually.
As you are, you currently have 13 stamina and 11 AC.
All right. Let's do this shit. Let's dance.
The negative one's strength.
How much stamina do I have?
You currently have 13.
I'm gonna wild punch him or strong
Okay.
punch him or whatever.
Roll for attack.
Just a general.
Yeah, just like to hit. Roll to hit.
Like a D20.
Ooh, I couldn't use primal savagery, could I?
Is it a trait or a spell?
It's
It's a cantrip.
A cantrip would count as a spell, unfortunately. It's got to be like a trait or a feat that's built in. I mean, you could and see what happens.
Yeah, that would go badly.
Okay, that hits.
Sweet.
How do you do an unarmed attack again? I can't.
Yeah,
remember.
how do you do that?
So for a
added.
powerful attack, it's just 2d6 plus your strength. We're doing, like a modified version. Normally it's pretty redundant and
Yeah, but how do you roll that unarmed strike?
I
Is
have
what
it on
I'm
my
trying.
character sheet.
He added it because he's an overachiever.
Oh.
Okay, so, as he begins charging at you, Cog, you go to meet the call and you pull back and you manage to catch him just as he's moving forward and slam your fist under his jaw. He takes the full 5 damage, staggering back a little bit. Here, I'll do this. Okay, do you want to move? Anything else?
Do brawl rules give him a attack of opportunity?
We'll go with yes, just to keep things,
I'm gonna hold
uncomplicated.
fast here.
Okay. Okay. So as you do that, he is actually he kind of like lets out this chuckle, and he is gonna go and attempt to ram his head into your face. You also using a powerful attack. That is going to hit for 16.
That is a hit.
Which your AC is 11. So that's going to hit for 2, 5, 8. So he pulls back and just like rams his forehead into your face for 8 damage total, bringing us back around to your turn.
Okay, that puts me at 28 hit points. Because I wasn't at full health when I started this.
They said they would heal you back at full health between fights, didn't they? So you can kind of count on your sheet, probably.
No. Did they heal me
Wasn't that-
before the fight?
I don't know. They didn't heal you before. There's an assumption that you don't stagger into the fight frame.
It's an assumption you get strangled by a rug before you went to the ring.
Oh, well. I'm an overachiever, I guess. Alright.
I thought that Davi healed you all the way up, though.
If he had a short
Yeah,
rest, he could have rolled
so-
hit dice.
I did.
Yeah.
I used 2 of my hit dice way back when.
I didn't know you were that injured, dummy, or I wouldn't have sent you
Oh,
into
I'm the
battle
dummy?
without.
Really?
Really?
You're the one that beat me.
Do you think I remember from last week? I also healed you for all the beating I did. Plus some. I wouldn't know how damaged you were, but oh well.
That's alright.
Okay.
So what are my options
What are you
in
doing,
terms of
Kai?
attacks? I have strong attack, I have
Okay.
normal attack, and then what else?
Normal attack, strong attack, you can grapple, or you can wait to regenerate stamina. And during that, you can either attempt to taunt or intimidate, which, from your last attack, you are now down to 12 stamina points. Just, so you're tracking.
So how many stamina does a strong attack use?
A strong attack, if you hit, it only takes 1. If you miss, it takes 3.
Okay. Did Jacobus just backstab my enemy?
Yeah, he snuck out and backstabbed them.
Alright, I am going to strong attack.
Okay, roll for hit. Okay, you go and you take a swing at him, and this one he does manage to see coming, and he just kind of steps to the side, and your fist, the force behind your fist kind of carries you forward in a stumble, and it does cost you 3 stamina as you miss him entirely.
So I'm at 9.
He used 4.
He's going to come back, attempt to stick out a leg and sweep your feet from under you, also in a powerful attack, but unfortunately that hits for 4.
Nope.
So he also, ends up just kind of losing his balance and coming, stumbling to the side a little bit, losing his own 3 stamina. Which brings us back around to you.
Alright. What does dodging do? It's just regenerating.
Yeah, defending is just regenerating.
Alright, I'm gonna defend and what are my options? Taunt or intimidate?
Taunt or intimidate. Hmm.
Can I-
Taunt is persuasion, intimidate is intimidate. And if you taunt him successfully, then it forces him to make a powerful attack at disadvantage on his next turn.
I'm gonna taunt the shit out of this guy.
Okay.
Make fun
Ow.
of his. I'm gonna call her out. Make fun of his tusks.
I'm not a bard, so I'm not gonna make up shit. But
Okay.
Your
Let me
tusks are
see.
screwed on backward.
I think I ate your
Working?
mother the other day.
Okay. You go and you yell out at him, and you see him kind of give this chuckle, and you watch as he dives forward at you, indeed making a powerful attack, appearing to be enraged by the insult.
I think it worked. Guys.
So that he ends up, if he first rolls a 17, the second one with his disadvantage is a 2. As you watch as once again he kind of puts his head down and charges at you, but completely brushes by, missing you entirely. Bringing him down a significant amount. And you can see now that he is looking a little bit winded from all of this. This is definitely starting to wear on him. And he appears to be becoming exhausted. That brings us back around to your turn again.
So I'm at 10 stamina now.
You were at 10 stamina.
So I'm gonna regular attack him.
Okay.
That does not hit.
You go to attack him, but unfortunately, he threw himself so off balance, you just can't quite come around in time to hook him. He is going to kind of move around you instead, and is going to attempt to taunt you as he looks at you, and he's kind of like, "Listen, pup, you don't know what you've gotten into." And that is going to be for a roaring 3.
I think I could resist that one.
Okay.
Do I have to roll against it? Like, what's the?
It's a charisma
Yes, it
saving
is.
throw, isn't it?
Yes, it's your charisma. Yeah, a charisma saving throw. Well, actually, just versus your charisma. So,
Oh, versus my charisma period.
yes, yeah. Let's do charisma saving throw.
Okay. Oh god, this could go badly.
And that's enough.
Okay.
So in his
I
winded
mean,
state,
you
he
didn't
just
have to do
does not
much.
strike you.
Should have signed up. He just ran around the ring yelling at him. I plus 7 charisma.
Okay, that brings us to your turn, Cog.
I'm at 9 again. I'm gonna jab at him.
Okay.
Bob and weave. Bob and weave.
Okay, that hits.
So it's 1d6.
Yes, if it's just normal strike. Okay. Plus that's plus your strength modifier. Okay. So you come
Minus, whatever.
swinging at him again. You manage to catch him in his rib cage. And he kind of moves the side a little bit. He doesn't look particularly hurt, though he does look winded. He's going to continue to kind of back up and kind of try to move away, trying to catch his breath a little bit as he looks at you. And he says again, really, is that all you got? Kind of hoped for a little bit more from this fight. With another effort to taunt you, which is going to be 11. All right. And he's just
Good
not
job.
hitting any soft spots with you. That brings us back to your turn.
I am going to taunt him. To attack me.
Okay. And this time, you go and you make this taunt that he appears to, have gotten a little bit more of a level head on him, just as he's kind of taking these deep breaths and stuff, and he just kind of laughs off your efforts.
Damn it.
He does move forward, though, again, attempting to catch you with a punch this time for 13 to hit.
That should hit.
Which looks like it hits. It's just a normal attack, so that's going to be 6 points of damage.
Puts me at 22 hit points.
Okay,
I'm gonna
which
step
brings
away
us.
for a minute.
Okay, brings us back to you.
I'm going to taunt him again.
Okay.
What's my stamina at?
I haven't been tracking your stamina.
Oh, Jesus. All right, so I was.
Sorry, I thought you were.
No, I was at 9, and then I think I attacked, and then I dodged again, so I'm back at 9. So
Okay, hold
I'm
on.
going to taunt.
We'll put you. Yeah, I can't add things to like your little circles.
It's okay. I'm at 10.
Okay.
I'm dodging
Okay.
and taunting, so
I'll
that
add
put
it
me
to
at
your
11
red one.
stamina, and that is a fail.
Okay. So as you go to taunt him, you seem to enrage him instead. He is going to move at you, attacking with advantage this time, which doesn't appear to matter because he rolls a 5. So,
Wow, with advantage.
right. I'm rolling like suck today. So he comes at you, but just does not manage to make contact. Brings us back to your turn.
I'd like to point out for the record that, contrary to everybody's experience of Earlith, she is actually quite enjoying this whole fight ring sort of situation and is kind of hooping and hollering on the side, trying to give Kag some encouragement to actually fight this dude.
Hell
Meanwhile,
yeah.
Craig, with an eye on Leo, is keeping a safe distance from you, Lilith, but continues to say, "You really were fantastic out there. beautiful, beautiful."
I am completely ignoring Craig, who is like a little pesky gnat at my side.
Davi's just rubbing her face and just got her head in her hands like, oh God. Actually, one of the things I wanted to ask is, can she kind of look around if there's any like little side conversation going on, she'll try to lip read.
Okay, sure, go for it.
I don't know what I roll for that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Roll a perception check.
That's part of my observant feat.
Doop, doop, doop. Oh, okay.
If I can see their mouth while they're
Actu-
speaking a language, I can interpret
Okay.
what they're
Then
saying.
given the level of your passive perception, as you kind of look around, it does look that most of the individuals here are, kind of keeping to themselves. It doesn't look like there are any, really great friends among them. You do notice that the female orc, Lazgrash, is kind of having a little bit of a conversation with Rab, and she's just kind of commenting, and she's like, "It's more than I expected from them, honestly." And they appear to just, kind of be analyzing the fight. Nothing too in depth. She does appear,
Okay.
a little surprised by your ability. She had underestimated what you were bringing to the table, but yeah, nothing really juicy going on.
Does she seem nervous at all?
No, she does not.
Damn it.
She appears totally cool and calm with all this. Okay, Cog, that does not hit.
Okay.
So,
Brings me back down to 10 stamina.
okay. So this guy is going to, who's once again appearing a little bit winded. It's going to look like he's getting a little bit flustered though, and he is going to move at you more quickly than one might anticipate with a powerful attack. But unfortunately, he rolls a 1. So as he just kind of veers by you, you are going to get an attack of opportunity on him as he kind of stumbles past.
So this is not my action. This is my reaction.
No, this isn't. Yes. Okay.
Well
Of
done.
course.
So as you come, you manage to catch him clear in the temple, and he just stumbles to the side, looking entirely disoriented. Fair chance that this guy is concussed as he just kind of wobbles on his feet for a moment. Your turn to attack.
Wait, how much damage?
Finish him! Finish
Oh,
him!
yes. Go for it. Sorry.
So do I double my damage?
You do 2d6 plus your strength on a crit. It counts as a powerful, but it doesn't have the...
Okay.
Yeah, you don't use 3 stamina. Okay.
Kaganos!
That's a significant amount. He's still on his feet, but he is definitely looking winded and pained. There's a little bit of twitch to his eye now, and he just appears to be knocked off his rocker a little bit. Which brings us to your actual action.
I am going to try to hit him again.
Okay, go for it. Okay. And as you come at him this time, you actually notice that he doesn't even try to dodge. He is just too out of it. And you hit.
Interesting.
Okay. You catch him in his straight in the gut. You see him kind of double over a little bit. He takes kind of a blind swing up at you, but just really unable to see what's going on. He swings for an 8, just completely missing. Not quite able to get in a powerful attack either, though. Brings us back around to your turn.
So I think I'm at 8 stamina right now.
Let's go, Cavados!
I am going to.
He's looking bad, by the way.
He's.
Alright.
You got this!
I'm going to strong attack him then.
Okay.
That's.
Oh
That
my
hits.
god! Oh, it
That
hits.
hits.
That hits?
That hits.
I am so shocked.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. You take him again with him doubled over. You take another jab straight up into his gut. He makes one last attempt to try to swing at you. Which comes out as a 7, missing once again as he tries to kind of, does his best to kind of cup you in your hip or whatever he was aiming for. It kind of, grazes your hip a little bit, but he just ends up kind of crumpling to his knees, just completely heaving for breath as he holds up a hand and says, kind of like lets out this roar, and you watch as he kind of transforms back into this, just crumbled heap of a half elf who's on his knees, in these pants. He goes, I give.
I'm going to hold my
Okay,
hand
I'm-
out to offer to help him up.
Irlith is just cheering wildly on the side. I mean, like, she's lifting off the ground a little bit. But, it's the whole thing.
Meanwhile, Craig is standing there watching Yurlith, just clapping for her in all of her glory. Harrison takes your hand, Cog, just like grabs you by the forearm and kind of pulls himself up. You see him wincing. He still looks, one of his eyes is more dilated than the other. He looks a little off of it, and he kind of gives you a nod, kind of like pats you on your arm and starts heading off towards the side. So.
Alright, so I'm at. Check that.
As you head back over towards the group, you watch as Rab actually, kind of pats around in his bag and he pulls out this white fruit. Cog, roll a perception check at disadvantage.
Damn it!
Wow.
All my shit uses wisdom. Oh wow. Okay.
All right. So he pulls out this white fruit, and you actually recognize it as the ones that Rafferty took some from the tree before. And he kind of looks over from it, and he wipes it off, and he offers it out to you, and he goes, "Here, this should help you feel a little bit better."
I will accept the fruit. And where have I seen this before?
The trees
the
that you
fruit
passed,
Rafferty pulled the fruit from.
Okay.
I
the
don't know
white
if they're
apple
that
looking
one.
things.
He
So,
pulled one for everybody and then 2 for himself, right?
Yeah,
I think,
I think he took one for everybody.
yeah, I think it took one for everybody and like claimed Leo's.
so
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Leo ain't eating crap from here.
Okay. As you eat it, you actually find that it seems to heal you and restore your stamina. It's the equivalent of just like a normal healing potion.
All right.
Cool. So I'm at full health now.
Yeah. For the sake of this, given that you're just kind of like fist fighting and brawling, we're gonna bring you back up to full health and stamina.
Sweet.
All right. Rab is gonna kind of look down this sheet and he's gonna be like, "All right, this is pretty interesting so far. That only leaves us with V and Thaw left to fight."
Wee. Go on, V. Hi.
I need to remember all of our aliases.
Mine's so hard to remember.
Yeah. Did I call out your real name? Sorry about that. Anyway. Too bad, so sad. I'm way into this too much.
So, Dobby, you watch
Yeah, Dobby's not fucking around.
And that definitely beats his paltry 6. You watch as this lizard man, kind of comes out, and as with the others, he kind of takes off of his armor and throws down his spear. And he actually puts his arm over his heart and offers you a light bow before kind of taking a stance, ready to fight.
Punch him before he
Dobby
stands
will
up.
do the same. She'll put a fist and give him a. honor
Dobby
him.
is here to drink ale and kick ass, and there is no ale to be had.
Not any in the entire Feywild.
Nobody in
So-
Feywild drinks.
No, and she's pissed about it.
As you go into all of your excitement, Eurolith, you actually notice that the female orc Lasgarash off to the side is kind of watching out of the corner of her eye now, with just a little bit of a smirk, just kind of general amusement at the excitement that you have for everything going on. Okay, Dobby, so you were up first then.
All right.
You can
You
make a
have to-
normal attack, power attack, you can grapple, or you can defend.
Mm-hmm.
I will try to.
Just punch him out.
What's grapple do?
Stops him from moving.
Yeah.
That seems super useful.
Honestly,
Doesn't seem
not a
very
ton.
useful. Yeah, it doesn't seem very useful. Kind of.
I think it would be more
eliminates
useful if
the-
there's multiple people in the fight.
Yeah.
I guess you can grapple him and maybe push him down prone or something, maybe?
All
I
right.
don't know.
Well, we'll start out with just a good solid attack. So what do I
Okay.
do?
I think if you just roll your mace, that'd probably be the attack number. Should all figure out
Yeah.
the proficiency and all,
Yeah.
and then you just roll damage.
Roll what?
Just roll your mace attack.
My warhammer.
Yes.
Yeah, you have a mace, you have an old warhammer, but sure.
So roll it one-handed or two-handed?
It doesn't matter, you're not going to use the damage.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Dobby, in all of her spunk, comes charging forward, catches this blizzard by surprise. This little person can pack so much force behind her and definitely hits.
So you roll, what's your strength modifier?
2
So 1d6 plus 2?
/ roll.
Yes.
roll
1d6 plus 2. Oh, lovely.
He sees you coming, but he does appear to be a little bit live. You do catch him, but he manages to move just a little bit, and you watch as it kind of, hits his side, but it doesn't get the full impact that you were quite hoping for. He lets out, a little bit of a chuckle, not condescending, just kind of bemused by the whole situation. Attempts to strike back at you. Kind of makes it a general wide swipe, kind of testing the waters, it seems. He only hits for 7, which you, seeing it coming, manage to duck underneath, and it misses you entirely.
Okay.
Do you have proficiency in unarmed? Actually?
How do I
I
know?
think everyone does.
Okay, so the Warhammer attack should be fine. Because he has plus strength and plus proficiency.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise my unarmed would be -1.
Okay.
Okay. That brings us back to you again, Dobby.
Actually,
All right.
your unarmed was rolling plus dex.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I will make another. I'll do one of the forceful attacks or whatever.
Okay. Roll for attack.
So maybe we don't get proficiency in unarmed.
Okay.
I don't know.
Once
None
again,
of
with
these
this
rolls.
little body packed with power, you come and definitely hits.
And then I roll 1 or 2
You
d
roll
2d-
2d6 plus
plus
yeah,
2.
Okay.
Yes.
So this one, you manage to catch him with a much more solid hit. Actually, in the back, kidney strike, and you watch as he kind of bows forward a little bit. Taking you a little bit more seriously now. He turns, attempts another just normal strike, but only hits for 11, which misses. And just with your height, he just doesn't quite seem to be able to get a solid hit on you.
Good.
Your turn again.
All right. So does that use stamina to do a power attack?
The power attack only uses 1 stamina because you hit, so you are currently at 11 stamina. You don't
right.
start feeling ill effects until 5. And then
Well.
when you defend, you regenerate 1 stamina per turn.
We're gonna go for it again.
Okay? Powerful
Okay.
or normal?
Powerful.
Let's go.
Okay.
Good
Once
Lord,
again,
these
you are
rolls.
just wailing on this guy. You can see as he's beginning to flinch now with just these tiny rock hard
Yes!
fists just coming at him waist high.
I am fist bumping in the air for my friend D.
Okay. And once again, you just get a few solid wails on this guy. And what was kind of bemusement at first seems to be turning into mild concern. He's like kind of got his hands up as he's cowering before this little dwarvish woman that is just wailing on him. He goes to try to, hit at you, but absolutely fails, actually tumbling over you instead. Finding himself prone behind you on the ground as like your weight just against his legs just like completely sends him toppling over. So he is currently lying prone behind you thanks to his critical fail, bringing it back to your turn.
You get advantage on attacks then?
Yes.
I'll just do another
Oh,
powerful one.
go!
Kick him! Kick him!
Yes!
With advantage.
That hits!
And that hits. Okay, you watch as this lizard and you come down and just wham, wham, one fist in the other. He absolutely balls up, hands covered to guard his face as he yells, "I yield! I yield!"
Still offering my hand up.
Completely petrified. He kind of looks at your hand for a little bit and just kind of rolls away in the grass and kind of gets to his own feet. He kind of, breathes heavily there for a moment, looking over at the goblin. Rab, and he kind of looks. He watches. He just kind of keeps a fair distance. He looks back over to Rab and was like, "What creatures are these, and where did they come from?" Rab's kind of like, "I don't know."
Leah's gonna lean into this little orc woman like, I can see where you're the champion.
Dobby's just gonna stomp back over. I mean, she'll do an exaggerated stomp. She's grumpy. She does not like doing this.
The orc kind of looks over at Julio and kind of gives a little bit of a grin, and she says, "Yeah, well, what can I say? They're pretty new to this kind of thing, it seems."
Seems strange for you to be here, and not much of a buena opponent.
She kind of lets that go, looks back towards Rab, who is scribbling down in his notebook. He's like, "All right, well, that about clears that up then." And he kind of looks over at you, Jacobus. He's like, "So we got an interesting thing here. If you would like to, we got 3 people moving on, or Elsa Jean, V, Bob. If you want to join in the fray, you can fight one of them. But otherwise, I mean, it's you 3 brawling it out to get over here to fight Lazgaresh. So
They can have fun.
all right. Well, do you want your entry fee back then?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one was yours?
The
The
most
bronze
valuable.
cup.
The cup.
Yeah, the
Right.
bronze cup
Bronze
was my.
cup.
Reaches in, grabs the bronze cup out of his bag, and kind of tosses it over to you, Jacobus. He's like, "All right, well then, that leaves Elsa Jean, V, and Bob. So who wants to fight first?"
I'll go.
Should we roll
Right.
for it?
Which, by the way, Davi, as you head back over, you were also offered one of the white apples that, is very sweet. Does taste very much like an apple as you bite into it, and completely restores your health and stamina.
Works for me since I was damaged.
All right. So, all right. So we got V. V says she's up and ready to go. Looks between
Sure.
Eurolith and Cog. Which one of you?
I gotta fight them.
Yeah, they're the winners.
So V is fighting one of them, and the other one's fighting the orc.
No, whoever wins, you gotta fight it out. You're gonna fight to see who wins
okay,
each,
so
and then you'll move on.
So they're
Come on,
fighting one, and then
Spider.
fighting the other.
You and me.
Whatever everything fights.
Yes.
Oh, Sasquatch.
All right,
Let's go, V!
here we go.
I'm just like clearly on Davi's side in this fight.
She's very grumpy about this. She's not happy about fighting him. She's already had
Okay.
to do it once.
Then I guess we can put this up to let you guys roll for initiative.
All right.
Let's go.
Ah.
Okay. So, Davi, you're up first.
All right. I will start with a normal attack.
That hits.
Hits.
All right.
All right.
This
go.
is for hiding in my cleavage.
I am going to taunt her.
Okay.
Say, okay, let's see there. It's too bad there wasn't more cleavage.
Oh,
That roll what a charisma.
oh.
Yes, you
It's a
roll
charisma
charisma.
Davi's
Oh.
rolls tonight. Man.
I got
Okay,
lots
guys.
of cleavage.
She
I'm
has
just not
plenty.
showing you.
Should have done this sooner. Let everybody get there.
All right, that is Davi's turn now then.
We're all done. It's gonna fireball everybody.
All right. I will do a strong one this time.
Okay, now that I have realized I'm going to have to fight one of them, I am paying closer attention. I'm just sort of walking back and forth, kind of checking out how they're fighting.
So I
and
don't
as you
think we
walk,
can use.
Craig is right behind you.
I don't think we can use the Warhammer because it is adding proficiency.
Yeah, you had proficiency. It's
It's
strength and
supposed to add
proficiency.
proficiency.
You're supposed to be +2. You were only +1, but you're supposed to have +2. On you.
Oh my
I'm gonna-
unarmed.
I'm
Yeah.
going to point out that I have some spines on my tail, and I'm going to flip it rather aggressively behind me.
He kind of jumps to the side and he's like, "Oh, spice."
Oh man.
Keeps a safe distance, but keeps.
There's something wrong with you, Craig.
All right, I'm gonna strong attack her.
Okay.
Go for it.
Oh,
I'm assuming that hits.
That hits. Yes. Okay.
ooh.
Okay. I'm going to strong attack as well.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
That does
That's
not
a
hit.
negative.
That misses,
Yep.
bringing you down to 8 stamina, just so you're aware, Davi.
All right. Thank you.
So I am going to taunt her again.
I shall taunt you a second time.
I will note you're bitch slapping each other from 20 feet away.
I noticed.
Yeah, last time I moved people closer and I was like, whatever.
Damn it!
No, you're not.
What is with
You
your
just-
saves today? All right.
She just trusts you too much.
All right. I'm just going to do. Actually, I'm going to taunt him.
Okay.
How do I do that? I roll
Just
a
roll a
Persuasion.
persuasion.
Jesus Christ! All right. So I'm strong attacking her.
On a disadvantage.
On disadvantage.
You can do better than that.
Damn it!
I beat the shit out of you in that rug.
All
He
right.
still hits.
Yeah, he does.
But I lose. How much stamina do I lose for hitting her?
2.
You only lose 1 when you hit her with
Oh,
a
that's-
fierce one. Yeah. Because you hit her, you lose 3 if you miss.
Okay.
At least he only clipped you for 4 damage.
Yeah. So that's
I didn't get that natural 20. I used his natural 20 up, I hope.
so it's your turn again because that uses up my turn.
Yeah. Yep. All right, I'll just do a normal
No, go
attack.
for taunt again. Oh.
No, I'm doing a normal.
Because the fight ends when you're out
What?
of stamina, right?
Right.
That is definitely a hit. Holy shit.
So I guess if you run out of hit points, you also win the fight.
Yeah, or I burn fucking shapeshift so I don't have to lose.
No, that's a spell, man.
No, it
No, it's a
isn't.
trait.
No, it's
He's
an
allowed to use
ability.
those.
And you might want to save that for the fight with the actual champion.
Yes, please.
Speaking
Well,
of
it
which,
doesn't
you
matter
could-
if I lose.
That's
You
true.
could probably use your channel divinity if you wanted to. Hey, could you use your bonus attacks?
Can I?
You can.
Yeah, I
I
haven't
think you can.
used any of that stuff. I would have, but I didn't because I didn't.
Surely.
If you have a trait, like for bonus attacks, then yes, you can use it.
She can use a bonus attack for like a cleric ability,
Let me
like
double check.
up to Wisdom Mustafar every day.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
My war
pretty sure
priest,
that's
I could double attacked 4 times.
Double checking, but I'm pretty
Does
sure.
it say with a
that's-
weapon though?
No, it doesn't say with a weapon. It just says I have to make a. Well, it says 1 weapon attack.
Unarmed
My
strike is
fist-
fairly, according to the link I sent earlier.
Unarmed strike is considered a weapon,
It's considered a melee.
right?
All right, so you could probably use that if you really wanted to,
Yeah. So
and your channel divinity too, probably. So you can only use that once, like a day or something. Or
All
forfeit.
right.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, I wouldn't channel divinity against cat.
No, I'm not going to
I
against
would.
Vega.
Yeah.
So I think it's
Yeah,
his turn.
yeah,
now.
totally wouldn't burn a shapeshift to win this
No.
fight.
Yeah, no.
I like Kega. Don't
Kill
tell
him.
him that.
All right, I am going to taunt,
okay.
Right?
Because you've done so well at
and
that.
it's gonna work at some point.
Is it?
Ooh, good
So
job.
we got crit this one.
Yeah. Come on, V!
Yeah.
That was a great fail.
Okay, he pissed her off now.
Fail.
So now what do I
Okay.
do?
So on the next one, you have to do the powerful strike, and if you miss, you lose 3 stamina. If you
And
hit
it's at a
either.
disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Yes, disadvantage to hit.
All right.
Whichever one's got really low AC. So
Holy shit!
She's gonna
Are you fucking
creep.
serious?
just so you know, Davi, you are now at 7 stamina.
Okay. Oh, I did -2. I'm
Going
sorry. That was supposed to be
premium.
+2.
Oh yeah, it's
so
like
5.
5.
It'd be 5. Sorry.
Fucking
Yeah, 5
hell!
stamina, you start having negative side effects.
Yeah.
How's Kag looking?
5, 6, 7. No, so it should be 7.
In terms,
Hey, she rolled 2d6 -2. It should have been 2d6 +2. So it's
Oh, yeah.
+1 +2, so it's 7.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
let me take off 2 more. I have 10
How's
hit
Cag
points,
looking?
folks.
okay.
How much
So
you have?
Cog
10.
Cog is looking. Davi is looking more tired and winded. Cog is looking more bruised and beaten.
I can't see Kag's hit bar for some reason. I can see everybody else's.
Really?
Yeah, can't see
I don't know
it.
why I can see both of them. Let me see. Let me see if I can adjust that with them.
You can set it so that all players can see it.
Yeah, because I can see everybody else's his.
Spider, I really don't like doing this. Why don't you
Okay,
just
hold on.
concede?
I'm very
There we go.
strongly considering turning into a bear right now.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense.
That would be a waste.
It will save his ego.
Yes. Alright, so I am going to. Damn it.
I will say Davi probably has a better chance of beating the champion.
Yeah. I'm going to strong attack Davi.
Okay.
That'll hit.
That hits.
My rolls are absolute garbage tonight.
You hit.
What are you rolling? I thought that you did a strong attack.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes. That's 2d6.
Oh, your modifier is a -1.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why.
This is what Leo isn't fighting. This is a -2.
Davi will just do a normal attack.
Okay.
That hits.
That hits.
All right, Davi, you are now down to 6 stamina.
Ooh.
I am?
Yes.
Yeah, but you hit, so you need to roll damage.
Regular takes 1.
Oh, I didn't realize regular took 1. Okay.
So that's 4.
During all this, Rab looks over at you, Yerlith, and goes, "Wow, I gotta say, this is the most exciting event that we've had since we opened."
I'm shocked.
It is quite fun, though. If you have to admit, I kind of glance over my shoulder at Jacobus and Leo and Rab.
I'm going to taunt.
Oh my god!
So she
I
can
am
punch
like-
you out faster?
He's not going to give this
like-
up.
So
Alright.
I'm like I said, I'm pacing back and forth, kind of watching them carefully.
Next time I'm resting in your beard.
Oh,
Now she's got to keep punching you after you fall, too. So that was
All right.
and she's gonna have to. So you gotta what? This is a strong attack at disadvantage. And she's
Fucking
still
hell.
gonna hit.
I was
Yes!
hoping to sap her
Downer.
of
But unfortunately, Davi is now at 5 stamina.
Yeah, Cuck's
So
dead.
yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, well.
Knocked him out.
And
So you
I
come
go to the ground.
God collapses.
Golf
As you
clap.
do, Rab actually hops down off of his thing, and he kind of like, with his little goblin legs trots out over, and he's like, "Hey, prop him up for me, can you?" Looking at you, Davi.
Davi will. I don't know anything about what they do, but she will cast Spare the Dying on him. It's a cantrip.
Okay.
Put him back at 0.
Puts him back at 0.
It stabilizes him.
Stabilizes him. I guess
Okay.
it gives him 1 health. It puts him.
No. Do you have a healer's kit? If you do healer's check, you can put in 1 hit point, I think.
Yeah, I have a healer's kit, so I can do that. That's
I don't
fine.
remember how that works, but I think you
Roll
can.
a medicine roll.
Yes.
So
Okay. So you do manage, kind of like you pick Cog up, you kind of like tap his cheek a little bit, and you do manage to bring him to enough, just in time, Cog, for you to open your eyes and find this tiny goblin peering down at you with this fanged grin as he offers you out a white apple.
Oh god!
Eat this. It'll help you feel better. Trust me.
eat the apple, Spider.
Jesus.
You're
I think
all
there's
right.
a story that tells me not to do this, but alright, fine.
Oh, those are the different ones. This is different. There's no story about don't take an apple from a goblin.
I'm not sure I believe him, but alright, I'm gonna
I'm pretty sure there's plenty of stories of not taking anything from goblins.
Davi will put
Alright.
her arm around Cag and help him up.
so I'm gonna
Okay.
grin over
She'll
at
take care
Davi.
of her friend.
Like, that was pretty damn good.
That was fun.
And you do have plenty of cleavage, so don't worry about it.
Honey, I wasn't worried about it to begin with.
As you help him up, the goblin actually offers you an apple as well to restore you, Davi.
She barely got touched.
He turns, points at Yerlith, hikes a thumb over his shoulder. Your turn.
And I just kind of saunter out to the middle, and I'm just like,
Come on, cutie. You can do
you
this.
know, I'm pretty sure that you're stronger than you look. So,
You see Craig cup his hands around his mouth and yell, "Knock him dead, beautiful!"
this guy is thirsty, and not a good way.
What is up with her rolls? Are you friggin' serious?
I would rather roll okay.
Next session, you are gonna have some garbage ass rolls. I just want you to know that you are blowing them all right
My
now.
karma is coming.
Put that on the board.
I don't matter.
All
It's
right.
just the two of you.
That's okay. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We'll just let Davi go first and continue on from there.
I mean,
So,
just go by that rule all the time.
Davi goes first.
Are we still using crit rules, by the way?
Are we still using what?
Are we doubling rolls on crits?
No, on crit, you do 2d6. It's like you do a powerful attack, just without the stamina detriment worry.
Oh, okay. You just don't take the
So-
stamina.
Question:
Yeah.
how do we determine our AC again? It was our.
Your AC
It's 10 plus
is
dex
13.
modifier.
Okay,
Or
13. Okay, I just
And
want
your
to
stamina
make
is
sure.
10.
All right, I'll just start off with a normal attack because I'm predictable.
Jesus God! I'm gonna attempt to duck, but clearly fail.
Oh my gosh!
Lilith, you watch as this sweet dwarvish woman that has aided you and protected you and just shown you such kindness and affection just comes, jumps up, and wham, takes you clear in the jaw, knocking you back in both power and awe. The ferocity
You guys do
this tiny
realize
thing packs.
That when I go to
stumble
fight
back
the main lady, I'm probably gonna look like crap.
Just burn your abilities in there.
Okay,
Has she
Well-
averaged like 20 on her attacks?
Pretty much.
so I'm gonna be like, so she's about knocked me over there. I'm gonna sort of crouch down a little bit, and I'm gonna
I'm
taunt.
sorry, Eulith.
I'm gonna crouch down and
Be like,
curl into the fetal position.
No. I'm crouching down and I'm gonna curl my tail around a little bit, and I'm gonna say, "Is that all you got? Cause I thought you could hit harder than that."
I'm so sorry, sweetie.
This is gonna end poorly.
Oh my god!
Ah,
And she does. Davi looks at you and she's just like, I'm
Son
so
of a bitch.
sorry. Pulls her fist back and just slams another one into your face.
That's great.
I'll do a strong attack.
Oh, thanks. Oh yeah, you'd miss. You miss.
I did.
Yes, you miss.
Okay.
Ooh, so Davi loses 3 stamina there?
Yep.
Yes, she loses 3 stamina on that one.
Okay, I'm again. I'm gonna.
So you're at 9 stamina, Davi, just so you know.
Okay.
You should taunt the shit out of her. Just keep taunting her.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to win this or not?
No. You have the best chance of winning, don't you? But no. I mean,
Team building exercise.
but you
I mean, if you can beat her, you have a better chance, I assume.
That's true.
If you can intimidate the orc.
If the
I
unless
mean-
the orc's really charismatic, and then you're screwed.
I am going to. I haven't lost any stamina yet, have I, or did I?
No, you haven't. In fact, you've gained a stamina. So
Okay, I am going to strong attack.
How do you gain a stamina?
just because when you break, like when you do the taunt and stuff, you gain stamina back. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you defend, you gain a point. I'm gonna strong attack her then, and so I need to roll a d20 plus what? Nothing, right? Because it's my.
yeah, just roll a d20 for hit.
Okay. Son of a bitch! I did not hit. I lost 3 stamina.
So you swing at her, but just as those who have faced her before, it's the height, man. It throws everybody, and you just go clear past her.
And you could feel your hair ruffle as I just swing an air above your head. Oh Lord, have mercy. Okay.
Okay, Davi.
All right. So a taunt, does that count as a?
Yes. Taunt is something that you could do kind of like as a bonus action when you wait and defend. That will give you 1 stamina and you're able to taunt. So like before, whenever you would do that, I was like adding them back to your count. So.
Yeah, what the heck? I'll taunt her.
Okay.
Surely you can do better than this, but I can't.
You look at her and go, surely you can do better than this. And you're with this sweet woman. This sweet woman has always been so affectionate to you, and she's kind of starting to piss you off. So you roll with advantage on the next one, and thanks to that crit fail.
Okay.
You're
I mean, you got to show her you can hold your own.
So it's
So,
my turn, right?
yes.
It's my turn. I'm gonna defend, and
Okay.
I'm going to taunt her, and I'm gonna be like, I'm just trying to think of something. I would just think that you would have more luck at this if you were a little bit taller, and then and I roll with advantage, right? Or is that advantage only on
Yes. No, yeah, you can do an advantage on the taunt. So you're up to 9 stamina now.
Ooh.
Oh.
Critical. Yes, that was a crit.
There it is.
And
Here
Bobby,
it is. The
your
universe is balancing
dwarvish
itself
blood
out.
is just pumping in your veins, and you're like, my height? Seriously? Of all the cheap blows? And you just rush her. Cat fight has broken out in the middle of this brawling arena.
So at disadvantage.
Yes, and I'm going to attempt
Yes.
to swipe her with my tail.
Oh!
Her teeth just gnashing. Dobby is practically foaming at the mouth as she charges you.
I cannot believe
And
that.
head down,
Here.
barrels into your abdomen, Yerlith.
2 women enter, 2 women leave, and never talk to each other again.
Okay.
All right, you are both at 9 stamina.
Okay. But I
I'm going to hit her at some point, otherwise she'll never fall over.
You know what? I'm going to, let's see. What does it cost to do a strong attack?
If you hit, it's only 1. If you miss, it's 3.
Okay, and that's the best attack we can do?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to try for another strong attack, because my rolls have been so great. And then I'm going to try for a strong attack, but what I'm going to do, since she's so low to the ground, is I'm going to try to swing out and whip her with my tail.
Okay, go for it.
And I don't hit.
What's your strength modifier?
Add your strength to that. And your
I have
proficiency, so it's +3 to that.
Yeah.
If it's +3, then it's 15.
hit.
I have no
Yeah.
strength modifier.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
that
you add
hits.
your proficiency to that, so yeah.
That hits.
Her AC is 12, so either way you hit her.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I thought hers was 13. Okay.
Her stamina is 13.
Okay, so what's that? 2d6 plus nothing because I don't have.
Correct.
Okay. How do I just slash roll, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Slash
slash
roll
roll 2d6.
Wow.
Hot damn. Okay.
And her tail is a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
She whips around and just bludgeons you in the side, Dobby.
All right. I'm at 9.
Yes.
Is that right? I'm going to do a strong attack.
Okay.
I'm at 8. I'm at 8, right? Okay.
You were at 8, yes.
And does that hit?
That
No.
misses.
Okay.
Misses.
Very well. I'm at 6.
Okay. I am.
Actually, no. Well, no. I don't want to use that for. Never mind.
Someone's getting competitive.
I seriously thought about it.
She was going to channel divinity on you.
I am going to. I am going to attempt. No, wait. I'm at. What? I'm at 8. Right
You were
now?
at 8. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try for that strong attack again,
Okay.
and
Keep-
then
Keep in mind that 5 is where you start feeling the disadvantages of your exhaustion.
right. That's right. That's why I'm gonna try it now, and then I mean, if worst come to worst, I mean, So
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a try now while I'm still at 8, and 20. It's just roll d20, right? Plus proficiency. Did y'all say?
Yep.
Yep.
Plus my
Plus three.
proficiency bonus.
Plus 3.
Three.
So roll a d20 plus 3.
Oh boy,
That's not what you want.
that is not
Nailed it.
what I wanted at all. Wow.
You go to charge at her and just completely trip and splay out on the grass beside Davi, just completely losing your footing in your exhaustion. Eurolith is
Oh.
prone. Davi, your turn.
I'm
Son of a
so
bitch.
sorry. So I get advantage because of this?
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
Yes, you do.
Meanwhile,
Davi
Craig is
curb
over.
stomps the dragon boy.
Craig is over on the side looking between, looks over to you, Cog. I'm so confused by this fight. I thought they were friends.
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh!
Son
So
of a
that
Are you serious?
Davi
What is happening here?
is 2d6 plus your strength.
Wow. Just wow.
So Davi, the merciless, takes up her heel and just slams it
merciless.
into your back, Eurolith. You feel your entire body convulse with the impact.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna just wince every time Davi lands something on Erlen.
She's just like
I'm just-
pile driving Eurolith at this point.
I'm not even like
I grew up
excited
around
about the
dwarves.
fight.
This was like a Saturday afternoon with the family, okay?
Like
Exactly.
I genuinely feel bad for Erlen at this point.
You guys are both at 5 stamina, by the way.
Okay.
Oh,
that-
disadvantage.
Oh, now the next one will be a disadvantage. So
Right.
now we're
Okay.
down to 5.
So that means that persuasion rolls are also at disadvantage, right? Like if I was to try to defend and taunt.
Just attacks are on are disadvantage right now.
Okay, so I'm just gonna lay there and I'm gonna go. You're putting up a very strong fight, and you might win, but I'll look better losing.
There's gonna be some hurt fucking feelings at the end of this.
Dobby's just gonna laugh at this point. She's not gonna get hurt.
No, I
It's
mean,
not
Well,
in her
let's see that roll
my
first, and then see how Davi feels about it.
She may lose this laughing, but it would be laughing. So she rolled her persuasion. So I rolled my save. Oh man, so close.
And it's just enough. Davi, as you go to strike her again, you are laughing so hard that you just can't quite, get a good vision on her. You have to do the powerful attack this time.
All
and
right.
you have to roll at disadvantage. Not
Yep.
that that's mattered at all.
Yep, still doesn't fucking matter.
Oh my gosh!
I swear to God.
What is this?
Just taunting her to kill
damage
you
is
faster.
Dude,
Okay.
if Jacobus and I need some of that, whatever Davi's doing.
I mean, like, I'm like clearly heated on the ground. I got 4 hit points left. But how many stamina does she have now?
Davi now has 4 stamina. You have 6. Davi looks like she has barely been grazed, and Eurolith is like slowly. You can see like she's slowly bruising. You see parts of her face are starting to bulge from swelling. Like,
Love, do you want to win this?
I don't know. Because now I'm suddenly afraid of the orc lady over there. I mean, my AC is best, but man,
Yeah, but mine's almost there,
but your stamina is better.
and I got a lot of health.
Yeah. I am going to I'm gonna taunt her again. I
Oh,
don't know what. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do like a normal attack. I'm just
Okay.
gonna do it.
You should
A
just
normal
fly
I
away.
know I can't.
Run away.
So, given that you're currently prone, we're going to assume that you get up.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of very, very labored get to my feet, clearly, and I'm gonna try the tail swipe again.
Okay.
Because, and then we're gonna let's roll d20 plus.
This worked last time.
I haven't fought Jackie yet, have I?
Nobody's
Nope.
gonna fight Jack. Woohoo!
Wow.
Yes!
Jacob is noped out of that one.
Wow.
Gerald, you are just like your eyes are starting to swell from the punches. You just can't quite make her out. It is a miserable day.
Davi is
Hey,
actually the
Davi.
lesser deity of brawling.
He's just gonna taunt her this time.
You are starting to wonder what deity it is that she follows.
Unless she yields, Davi is gonna taunt her.
Well, you could try to. Well, never mind. But yeah, go ahead.
Punch you out? Is that what you're saying?
No. Well, I mean, you could.
That's
that was
perception.
That's perception.
You can indeed see her.
Oh,
Close.
wrong thing. Where is it?
She's still there.
Persuasion. Thank you. She's hurting. I don't taunt her very well.
But looking at her and just how beaten up she is, you just can't quite find it in your heart to be cruel. I mean, it's just pissed off. This is so unjust, and she just, with the last every bit in her body, charges you.
And I have to do with disadvantage, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And you're at 5, aren't you?
She's at 4 hit points. Yeah, she's at 4 hit points. No, she has 6 stamina now.
Okay.
This is the, yeah.
Oh,
Good.
I mean, Jess,
Are you fucking serious?
angriest, you can see the spark coming out of your nose again as she charges forward and just splays out on the ground. Grass burns down her chest and stomach, just heaving and panting.
I'm just gonna knock myself out at this point.
I mean, you can forfeit.
I may end up with an asthma attack. Yeah.
Holy crap!
I love you.
I can't yield. That would be against my nature as earless, but my god. Okay. Well, it's your turn, Dobby.
Okay. I
I
so
have how
Dobby's
much
at what
left?
stamina now?
Davi currently has 5 stamina. Yurlith has 3. So your attacks are at disadvantage.
Okay, I'm still gonna just do another taunt.
Oh, great. Thank you.
I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna. Please. And the charisma saving roll is not at a disadvantage, right?
Right.
No, it is not.
Right, just attack. Just not that it matters. And I'm going.
Yurlith, you force yourself back to your feet. Your legs are wobbly. You hear Craig yelling from the sideline, "Mercy, beautiful, just get out of there! Get out of there!" As you stumble forward, going to swing, but absolutely collapse to your knees and then just lean forward, just kind of like hanging limply on Dobby's form, just heaving, struggling to breathe at this stupidly fast and dexterous dwarf that you had no idea that she had this in her.
I didn't know it.
Oh my god! How tall is Dobby again?
Gosh,
Let me look.
let's see.
She's like 4'10".
She's short.
She's 4'2".
She's like half your size.
4'2". Good lord.
Yeah, and as this 6'4" dragonborn is
Just draped across her like ragdoll drool, just like, oh my gosh. Craig comes like kind of galloping out of the stands. Is she okay? Is she okay?
She's okay. Dobby will help her. Help Earlith. She'll
I'll get
hold
an
her
apple. I'll go get an apple. He runs back over towards Rab. A few minutes later, he comes over and he kind of offers the apple out towards Earlith, but you can see that he's kind of awkward about it. Like, he doesn't quite want to touch her as, dictated by Leo. Eat this. It'll help you, I promise.
I'm
Okay,
so sorry.
I'm gonna shake it off.
Elsa Jean, I'm so sorry.
No, it was a fair fight. It was a fair fight, and that's fine. I'm gonna take the apple with no encouragement towards Crib. Or Craig, or whatever his name is, and I'm gonna eat the apple, and I'm going to move over to the stands.
So I guess
Okay.
Dobby gets another apple too.
Yes, everyone gets another apple. So with that, Rab comes over, like looking over all of you, and he's like, "Wow, that was." No offense, but I didn't see that coming. That was spectacular.
Did not see that coming either.
I gotta know, does this champion look at all nervous now?
She's definitely. We'll roll a perception. Roll an insight check.
Will do.
Okay.
How?
So you look over and you
are
kind of
these
see her.
rolls awesome?
You're kind of sizing her up. And whereas before she looked extremely confident, she definitely looks curious now. Maybe a little more. You can tell that she's a little more analytical of your stature. She's definitely studying your body structure. But you also see a twinge of excitement. Like she definitely seems to be looking forward to this in a way that's very similar to you. You can see that this is something she views as fun and lighthearted and challenging, and she just looks ready to take on this endeavor.
So is it us now?
So Rab looks between you, and he's like, all right, that brings us down to our two leading ladies. And I've got to say, I'm very excited to see who our latest champion, our next champion is going to be.
I am now firmly on V's side again. I just want you to know.
Dobby will blow Earlith a kiss.
And given that it is midnight, we will get to find out if Davi manages to kick the orcs a.
Oh man, but my mojo might.
No, listen,
know,
that's
I'm
gonna
almost gonna
stop
wrap
at
up.
some point. There's no way.
We'll do
you
like
can carry
a Rocky montage in between the week,
But I low key think we should power through and let her find us. Oh
that.
man,
We don't want to go to bed sad, but she rolls straight ones for that entire match.
I don't think there's a chance of that.
I don't either, man. Okay,
I've never seen that before.
That was nuts.
I got my ass whipped.
Guys, I've never rolled like that before. That's why I
Got
say,
my
man, I
ass
hate to
whipped by a dwarf. Hey, but I'm not Cag that got his ass whipped by a dwarf.
Hey, equal opportunity. I also withheld my shapeshift.
Yeah. I mean, we were all.
I withheld my lightning breath. Thank you very much.
I withheld all my channel divinities, so
Yeah,
I'm on up my sleeve still.
exactly. I'm looking forward to the fight now.
It'll be worth it once you find out the orc's actually like a were shark or something,
I know. Oh my god.
This arena actually fills up with water.
Yeah.
Okay, so from that, you each have 300 XP for the session.
I was gonna say, all Leo did was sit on the sideline.
Yeah, but he did all the stuff.
I encouraged encounter.
He did the entry fee bargaining,
Yeah, he did.
So
Oh me.
Oh man.
Which we're not going to get anything from because I gave him absolute junk and he was very fine with it.
I totally love that I made that ogre piss himself. That was the best.
That was great.
that was unexpected.
That was
That
awesome.
was fantastic. I was like, I'm just gonna do these little theatrics to my lightning and my wings, like I'm some badass. And then he's like, I didn't sign up for this. Oh, that was fun. Says really misses the best parts of the night. I
He
swear.
does.
Well,
He bows
this
out.
time we have it recorded.
Oh,
Oh, you recorded
Oh
it?
no.
Oh, yes.
In case anybody has 3 hours to just,
Yeah. Real listenable.
I mean, I mean, we all watch Critical Role at least once a week.
That's true. The real reason why Cog wants to record is so that he can go back and say, well, on February 29th, you said.
No, he's plotting our TV careers, is what he's.
Yeah.
Lord
Definitely.
have mercy. I don't know. That was fun, y'all. Okay, well, I am out since we're done. Love you
Yep.
guys. I will
Bye.
see y'all
I put-
later. I
Thanks,
see
guys.
you waving at me, Felix.
I'll fix my camera next time. I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
fix
see
it next
CAG
time.
or Casta the whole time.
Yeah,
I
Really?
didn't-
Well,
Oh,
I saw
I had
Cassidy.
Castle the whole.
Yeah, I didn't see CAG or Casta, although Felix did come into view finally, but
did you get to see any baby action?
I did, and Jude